Roseburg football is on the air.
It's going to be an exciting season, and here come the Indians.
Welcome to another broadcast of Roseburg High School sports on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score. Now, let's head to the field for the pregame show. Here's your host, Joey Kieran.
Hello and good evening, everyone. Welcome to Roseburg High School, the home of the Roseburg Indians, as they get ready to begin Southwest Conference play tonight as they welcome in the Grants Pass Cavemen. It's a beautiful night for some football. Yes, the smoky conditions have started to lift up out of the Umpqua Basin just a bit, and we've got good enough conditions tonight to play some high school football. We look forward to it this evening as the Roseburg Indians look to try and get the conference slate started with a victory. On the other side, the Grants Pass Cavemen look to continue a very hot start as they go 3-1 in the non-conference portion of the season and look to begin Southwest Conference play pretty much right where they left off in their last matchup as they took down Southridge 38-21 last week. Meanwhile, the Roseburg Indians coming off of a tough one on their third road trip of 3 hours or longer this season. The Roseburg Indians losing at Bend last week 40-20 after what was a very tight first half between the Lava Bears and the Indians. We get ready for tonight's matchup. Plenty coming up for you in the pregame show, and we welcome you in. I'm Joey Kieran. Along with me in the booth tonight will be Joshua Nelson. Appreciate him joining us throughout the season for a second straight year. Coming up throughout tonight's broadcast, we will have plenty of action. In the pregame show, we get a chance to catch up with head coach Dave Heiberger. That'll be our Tim's Appliance pregame coaches interview coming up in our next segment, and that's Tim's Appliance at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg. 0% financing is always available. Also coming up, we will get some keys to tonight's game, take a look at the matchup, take a look at where these two teams have been, as well as we'll get you our look at our Supercuts starting lineups for tonight's matchup. So plenty coming up here in the pregame show. Before we take our first break, we want to remind everybody tonight's game is also streaming online at 541radio.com, where you can watch tonight's game streaming live for free. You can also check out 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. The game is streaming live on YouTube there, so if you've got it on a smart TV or another way to stream YouTube videos on your TV, you can put the game up on your TV and watch it there. And you can also go back there and find past Roseburg football games on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. We get ready for this one to kick off as the Roseburg Indians and the Grants Pass Cavemen get ready to meet on a beautiful Finlay field here this evening. Before we take our first break in the pregame show, we do want to recognize some of our sponsors for tonight's broadcast. I want to say thanks to Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County, and to DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. Quickly, we bring in Josh Nelson here into the broadcast. And Josh, we get into conference play tonight, and as you mentioned, we're actually about midway through the season for the Roseburg Indians. Kind of weird to say that, but the Roseburg Indians getting ready to begin conference play. Excited about this point in the year where the games really start to pick up in intensity.
Yeah, really excited to see what's going to happen in this conference this year. We lost Willamette and South Eugene this year out of the conference, so it's going to be really interesting to see I'm pretty sure who's going to be number one at Sheldon probably, and then going to see it's going to be interesting to see if who lands up in that second and third spot between North Medford, South Medford, Grants Pass, and Roseburg.
All right, we got to get to our first break of the pregame show. Back with our interview with head coach Dave Heiberger after this on 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here with more of our pregame on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score, streaming with video online at 541radio.com. It's time now here in the pregame show to get to our Tim's Appliance pregame coaches interview, get a chance to catch up with head coach Dave Heiberger as the Roseburg Indians begin Southwest Conference play and host the Grants Pass Cavemen tonight. And Coach, you coming in off of another long road trip, finally get to be back here at home, but the last one there on the road at Bend, a very competitive first half. Things kind of get away from you guys in the second half. What was the biggest difference in your mind between first half and second half for you guys?
We try to make each team one-dimensional a little bit, and they got their running game and their passing game going. And so, when you get the ball rolling like that, which they did, it's hard to defend them. And offensively, they kept us off the field a little bit. And I think we were 7 for 20, I think, in the game throwing the ball. And so we got to have a higher completion percentage than that. I like the fact that got the ball downfield a little bit more, but like I said, it was got away from us.
Mm-hmm. This season, against McMinnville, there against Bend, very competitive for you guys for a while, and then it seems like maybe self-inflicted wounds out there a few times. Do you feel like if this team cleans up things a little bit throughout some of those games, that either they're closer or maybe you guys even give yourself a much better chance to win those games earlier on in the season? Has that been kind of an Achilles heel for you guys, just kind of shooting yourselves in the foot?
Yes and no. We can give ourselves credit for a good first half coming in with a good game plan to keep us in it. And then you go the opposite and say, hey, what happened in the second half? There are multiple reasons for that. Mm-hmm. But, at the end of the day, we're still building that depth, and we come in with what we think gives our kids the best chance to win a football game. And there's certain things when teams adjust, we kind of have to tip our hat to them right now. But the one thing I say is our kids, they competed hard in every game we've had, came out this week ready to get better.
No, at this point in the season, everybody's probably got some bumps and bruises here and there. We saw in the first game, obviously, Jay Stoffel went down, and you've been missing him since then. But health-wise, how are you guys doing? I know you're trying to build depth behind certain guys to be able to bring guys off the bench to give somebody a breather. But with injuries, that can get a little limited. How are you guys looking here as you begin conference play?
Pretty good. Colin Reitman's been out the last couple weeks, and obviously go against a team like Ben last week and your strong safety's out and they can do play action and flood and all that stuff. There wasn't great timing on that, but he should be back hopefully next week, and other than that we're pretty healthy.
Well, that's good to hear. As you guys begin conference play, it's been a smaller conference, so a little bit smaller slate there, but looking at how teams have done, the Southwest Conference looks like it's going to shape up to be another tough year there with no real easy weeks throughout that conference slate, which has become, that's usual in conference play. For you guys getting ready to take on Grants Pass here tonight, what do you think of what they've done so far this season?
Solid football program. You've heard me say this before. The bottom half of the Southwest Conference over the last 3 to 4 years is gone. There's no Willamette, there's no Thurston, there's no Crater, there's no South Eugene, and so it's left big boy football, and we're excited to be a part of that, and hopefully we can give them some games and get after them. I think that we've narrowed the gap on a lot of those teams in our conference, but at the same time, that's a pretty big gap, and we're looking forward to seeing how we do measure up.
The conference as a whole, what do you think about what you've seen so far from the other teams? Obviously, there's no top and bottom. It's a big dogfight each and every week to be there at the top of the conference standings, but the quality of competition you'll be seeing over the next few weeks, how do you think it stands up amongst the rest of the state?
Well, you got the PIL that, it's a defunct conference for lack of a better term. You obviously got the Westland League with all those guys up there are pretty strong. And so, I don't know. I don't really worry about the other teams' leagues and where we compare as far as the league to the other teams around the state. We got other things to worry about. So.
All right, well, tonight the Roseburg Indians get ready to take on the Grants Pass Cavemen. It's the first game of conference play coming up here tonight. We'll thank head coach Dave Heiberger for his time here in the pregame show. That's your team's appliance pregame coaches interview at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg. 0% financing always available. Back with more of the pregame show after this on CBS Sports Radio 1490.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Swimming season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
And we welcome you back here to Roseburg High School, where the Indians get ready to host the Grants Pass Cavemen. Joey Keyran and Josh Nelson with you here tonight as we continue on with the pregame show. Team's just about ready to take the field here tonight, and we want to say thanks again to head coach Dave Heiberger for his time in the pregame coaches interview, brought to you by Tim's Appliance at the corner of Lane and South Stevens in Roseburg. 0% financing is always available. Coming up here before we kick off, we will have your Supercuts starting lineups in the Steelhead Run Plaza across from Starbucks on Garden Valley Boulevard. Save time and check out styles online at supercuts.com. As we get ready for the teams to make their way out onto the field, Josh, I welcome you back into the broadcast here. And looking at tonight's matchup, you've got the numbers. Roseburg comes in 1-3. They average 20.5 points per game. They've been giving up 36.8. On the other side, Grants Pass comes in 3-1. They're averaging 41.7 points per game, and they are giving up 41.7, but they are scoring 44. So they score a lot, but they give up a lot. Roseburg, on the other hand, offense has been a bit of an issue this season. But as you look at this matchup, what are some of the things you think the Indians need to do tonight to be able to get a victory?
So, as always, they got to limit the turnovers. So far, the last two games have been great. Warmouth hasn't thrown an interception at all. Last week, though, the fumbles kind of bit Roseburg coming out the first part of the game, and then after halftime, fumbling the ball twice. And then they're going to have to get that run game open so that passing game opens up. We know we got D'Angelo Adams that can catch a ball deep. But in order for him to get open deep, they're going to have to be able to get that and move that run game along. And then they're going to have to stop Grants Pass runs game. I think everybody's figuring out that Roseburg's having a hard time stopping a run game, and Grants Pass is the team to do it against. They graduated all 5 of their starting linemen last year on the offensive side of the ball. So Roseburg should be able to disrupt that offensive line fairly well and stop that run game tonight.
Well, the the Roseburg Indians, will take the field, getting ready for kickoff here tonight. Grants Pass has sent their captains out, but still waiting for the rest of the team to join them out on the field. The Roseburg Indians will be wearing their home blacks for a second time this season. Only other home game so far for Roseburg was a 49-38 victory on top of Reynolds back in week 3 of the season. On the other side for Grants Pass, they'll be wearing their road whites, blue numbers on the front and back for the Cavemen. Roseburg will have the orange numbers outlined in white on the front and the back of the jerseys. So one thing I look to see how it impacts things tonight here will be the injury game. We mentioned that Colin Reitman was out. It looks like it could be Caden Gingery on the sideline as well for Roseburg. Also Austin Parker, a guy that had been getting time out there as a receiver for Roseburg, on the sideline as well tonight. Mentioned on the other side for Grants Pass, they're actually missing a couple of guys as well. They are missing guys in Blake Sellers, Joe Johnson, a couple of guys that are seniors. I know Blake Sellers was one of their top tacklers from last year on the defensive side of the ball. He was the third leading tackler, 2 sacks and 2 tackles for loss. So that is going to be a big loss on the defensive side for this Grants Pass team. We'll see how that comes into play tonight. Grants Pass comes in ranked number 13 by the OSAA. Roseburg, number 26. The coin toss is coming up next, but that'll wrap it up for the pregame show. When we come back, we will get you a look at the starting lineups and get you ready for kickoff. Roseburg and Grants Pass getting ready to meet on a Friday night here at Finlay Field on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
And we welcome you back here to Roseburg High School as we get ready for kickoff. The Roseburg Indians will receive after Grants Pass won the toss and elected to defer. The Indians will take it to start out the ball game. Out to kick the ball away will be Christian Pendleton, a senior. Right-footed kicker will get ready to kick it right to left on your radio dial, and he boots it away deep to the 3-yard line where it's taken by Peyton Bryant. The Roseburg return man will take it up the hash mark, weaving through traffic. He gets through the initial attack at the 35 and will fall forward out to about the 37-yard line. Great return for Roseburg, and I believe it'll set him up out at the 38 is where Roseburg will get the ball to start. Out to lead the offense will be Colin Warmouth, the senior quarterback. He is thrown for 501 yards so far this season, 4 touchdowns. He's run for 123 and 2 scores. He'll lead the offense with 2 backs in the backfield. Zach Mandera to his right. Behind him in the pistol formation, Doran Gillespie. 1 target to either side of the line of scrimmage. Handed off to Mandera, running left side of the line. He gets back to the line of scrimmage and not much for him on first down. Your Supercut starting lineup up along the front line: Thomas Ruth, C.J. Gale, Riley Colberhouse, Hunter Blix, and Hunter Hilliard. In the backfield, we'll see Doran Gillespie, Zach Bandera. Gage Hill gets some time back there as well. Wide receivers: D'Angelo Adams, Cole Bear, Peyton Bryant, Eddie Herskovitz. Those are the guys you'll see, along with tight end Carson Ellis. Indians will set up with 2 targets to the right side. That'll be Bryant and Isaiah Moore. Quick pass out to Bryant. He catches, met at the line of scrimmage. He'll try to fight his way back, and he's unable to get anything on 2nd down and 10, and he'll actually lose a yard on the pass play, and it'll be 3rd down and 11 for the Roseburg offense.
And the only reason he lost a yard right there is number 81, Isaiah Moore, was supposed to hit that block, and he was not able to get that block, allowing that defender to come in and make that tackle.
Peyton Bryant, the leading receiver in receptions and yards this season for the Roseburg Indians. Up along the front line, a 4-man front for this Grants Pass team. Corbin Anderson, Aaron Weigel, Caleb Egbert, and Warren Stark. They'll try to get a stop here on 3rd and 11 for Roseburg. Trips to the left side of the formation. Blitz come. Indians pick it up down the seam route, and it's short of the 1st down, but the Indians picking up maybe 9 on that play. Actually probably going to get 10 on the play, but come up a yard shy. Making the catch was Hershkovitz in that seam route, and it'll be 4th and a yard for Roseburg.
And right now, Coach is going to send out his punt team. I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't try to do that hard snap count right now, try to get Grants Pass to jump off sides.
So they'll send the punt unit out. It'll be Warmouth to kick it, and as you mentioned, they may go with the hard count. We've also seen Warmouth run for a 1st down on 4th down out there to punt. With the ball out at the 47-yard line. It was a pickup of 10, and timeout going to be called by Roseburg before they get the 4th down play off.
And the reason why that timeout happened was because Grants Pass had nobody back as if to receive as if it was going to be a punt. So they were defending an actual fake punt by Roseburg.
Coach Heiberger out on the field. And I kind of wonder if they did signal a timeout, but it looks like Coach Heiberger may be trying to plead a case with something with the official to change things up here. I don't think they're going to move anything. It's 4th down and a yard. Roseburg keeps clapping, but it looks like they're just headed back out there in punt formation. So first possession of the game for Roseburg so far. Have not been able to move the chains. And it will be 4th and a yard from the 47. 10:26 to go first quarter. There is nobody deep to return for Grants Pass, so they are prepared for a possible fake. Warmouth, he gets a bad kick, and that lands just shy of the 50, and that was not what Roseburg was hoping for.
That was only a 3-yard punt right there. That's definitely not what Roseburg's looking for.
So Grants Pass will come out with the football, 10:20 to go, and they actually start at the 50-yard line. Thought they were going to put it at the Roseburg 49. So Grants Pass offense will come out as we look at the Supercut starting lineup for the Cavemen. Chase Coyle, the junior quarterback, will lead them out in shotgun. We'll get you the rest of their skill players, moving Jaron Emtaj into the backfield to the left of the quarterback, Coyle. Blitz coming for Roseburg. Fake the handoff. They'll pass out to the far side of the field. Caught. And using his blockers, off to the races. No one's going to catch him into the end zone. Corbin Lopez, a 50-yard touchdown strike on the first play from the line of scrimmage for the Grants Pass Cavemen.
And that was just a little bubble screen right there. A pulling guard came out to help blocked one of the linebackers out completely. And then the blockers for the wide receivers, the rest of the wide receivers did a great job at holding their blocks, allowing the receiver to get down the field and score the touchdown.
Comes with 10:08 to go. That took all of 12 seconds to get into the end zone for Grants Pass. They lead 6-0. Christian Pendleton out to kick the PAT through, and he splits the uprights to make it 7-0. Grants Pass in front. We'll take a quick 30-second break and come back with more of the action. You're watching Roseburg football on 541radio.com and listening on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
One play, that was all that was needed. Grants Pass, a quick strike offense. Corbin Lopez with his 4th touchdown reception of the season. And for starting quarterback Chase Coyle, that is his 12th touchdown pass of the year. And Grants Pass takes the early 7-0 lead. They kick it away right to left again. Big boot out of Pendleton to the 5-yard line, taken there by Bryant. Follows his blockers up the middle. Tries to cut to the sideline, and he's tripped up just shy of the 30-yard line. Will go down at about the 28, and Roseburg will have the football deep in their own territory. Second possession of the ball game.
And right there, he just ran a little bit faster than his first line of blockers there. If he would have let them set up just a hair second longer and not run quite past him, he would have been able to pick up a few more yards.
Offense comes out for Roseburg. In the backfield, Doran Gillespie to the right of Warmouth. Trips to the left side of the field. Adams, Herskovitz, and Bryan out that way. Bear spread out to the right side. Ball on the right hash mark. Quick pass to the right side of the field, and that is sniffed out immediately. Roseburg's wide receivers couldn't get out there and block quick enough as Randy Clark reads the play and tackles D'Angelo Adams for a loss of yards on first down.
And number 23 there was sitting there guarding Adams to begin off the play right away. And he was able to just get around the block and just hold on to Adams the entire time.
Loss of 2 on the play for Adams. Roseburg back to their own 27. Looking at the rest of that defense for Grants Pass as we continue to get the Supercut starting lineups. Jacob Hancock, Christian Tucker, Jake Henricks at the linebacker core. Randy Clark, Corbin Lopez, Orion Martin, and Jaron Emtage in the backfield for the secondary. Fake the handoff. Keeper for Warmouth running left side. He switches hands, and he gets out near the 40. That's going to be close to a first down carry for Colin Warmouth as he gets to the 39, and we'll wait for the signal. It looks like it's third down and short for Roseburg.
Yeah, and Warmouth got up after that. He was signaling for a flag. He was wanting a horse collar tackle right there because they did have him by the back of the helmet or back of the jersey, somewhere right around there when they brought him down.
They're going to put this, boy, I thought they were going to put it at the 38. They kind of stretch it out to the 39. They need only a few inches to get the first down, and the officials, I think, are maybe going to come out and measure this. Yeah, they are. They're going to bring the sticks out. The nose of the football is on the 39-yard line. It's a pickup of 12 on the ground for Warmouth. We'll see if it was good enough to move the chains. They'll stretch it tight out there, and it is. First down, Roseburg.
Just by the nose of the football.
Not by much, but by enough. So Roseburg will have first down and 10. First down of the night for the Indians. Warmouth this season, I mentioned, 45 carries, 123 yards coming into the matchup. His long was a 40-yard carry. He's averaging just 2.73 yards per carry, but a 12-yard run there. First and 10 from their own 39 for Roseburg. Warmouth hands it off, running right side. Gillespie bouncing off a couple of tacklers. Stays on his feet but can't squeeze through the hole, and he's taken down at the line of scrimmage.
And here sometime tonight, I'd like to see that inside screen pass. We didn't see it at all last week, and I'm hoping to see it tonight because that will open up a whole lot when it comes to the run game as well.
Roseburg moves the football about a half a length of the football. Is the ball now not just barely touching the 39, but it's pretty much sitting right on top of it. Second down and a long 9 to go for Roseburg. Four-man front. Linebacker up in the middle for Grants Pass. Backing off. They'll move Adams in motion. Fake the handoff to him. Looking to pass. Slant route. It's too high. Some contact there on Bryant, but no flag comes out. Incomplete on the pass for Colin Warmouth.
And that one was just, that would have been a hard pass right there to make anyways. He had to fit it in a small hole, and he just overthrew it.
8:02 to play in the first quarter. Roseburg trails 7-0. Grants Pass, one offensive play so far. It was a 50-yard touchdown pass, and they lead 7-0. Roseburg looking to convert on third down here. I believe, if I remember my numbers correctly, 2 for 10 last week on third down. Warmouth completing passes better here at home tonight than he did last week. 3 for 4, but only 7 yards total. Fakes the handoff, looking to pass. He was watching. Now he bubbles out, trying to get away from the defense. He needed to throw that ball away. He's going to take a huge loss on third down, and he'll have to punt this one away.
Yeah, definitely should have thrown that one away. There's no excuse. He is the senior leader of that squad, and he knows he has to throw that one away.
He gives back 10 yards as he's taken down for the loss on the sack. Was trying to find somebody open downfield, and still early in this game, you'd rather just give up the down and punt it away from your own 39 instead of taking a sack back to your 29. And Warmouth, who didn't have a great punt last time, will try to kick it away here. He's averaging over 30 yards a kick, but he gets underneath this one, and it's not very deep either. Well out of bounds, and Roseburg is going to give the ball back to Grants Pass. And they'll mark it right about the 50 again, and Grants Pass is going to have the ball right near midfield for a second straight possession.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to give it to him on the 49.
7:18 to go first quarter. Grants Pass starting in Roseburg territory. Send the offense out. Only one play so far, a 50-yard touchdown pass. We'll send the offense out. Up along the front line for Grants Pass, Pete Osipovich, Logan Vineyard, Caden Barker, Andrew Proulier, and Corbin Anderson. They'll be blocking as Emtich trying to break through the line, but he is met at the line of scrimmage. He'll carry a defender a 1 yard coming up, making that tackle right in the middle. I believe that was Hunter Blix making the stop.
It was Hunter Blix, and he was able to get in that backfield right away. And that's what Roseburg's going to have to do today. They're going to have to get in that backfield and stop that run.
Other skill position guys, Andrew Medley, Blaine Hobbs, Randy Clark, and we've mentioned Corbin Lopez already tonight. Fake the handoff, play action, rolling to his right. Receiver out there has the catch. And that's J.J. Watts, who will get close to a first down. They'll mark him out just around the 40, and that's going to be a yard shy on the pass completion to the big J.J. Watts, who is a junior, 6 foot, 173.
And right here, they need to make sure they don't get drawn offsides by Grants Pass.
Ball at the 40, an 8-yard pickup through the air. Looking to pass again. Lots of time back there for Coyle. Has a man wide open. It's Hobbs down the sideline, knocked out of bounds inside the 5. Blaine Hobbs, he had plenty of time to work his way open. A lot of great protection there for Chase Coyle, and he finds the two-time honorable mention quarterback from last year, Blaine Hobbs, who moves to wide receiver this year to let Chase Coyle take over as the quarterback.
And that was just a miscommunication on the backfield of Roseburg's defense.
37-yard pass play. Handed off, running left side. Emtage going to come up shy of the goal line. He'll pick up 1 on the run. It'll be second down and goal from the 2-yard line for Grants Pass.
And that was Rourke Martin that came up and made that big stop.
It'll be second down and goal. 3 for 3 tonight for Coyle. Sets up a back to either side of him in the backfield. In shotgun. Calls for the snap. Hands it off, running right side. Stutter step into the end zone. A touchdown. Grants Pass. And the Cavemen will take a 2-score lead here in the first quarter. Running the ball in this time. Want to make sure I saw 28, not 26. And I don't have a 28 on the printed roster that they gave us. So we'll try and figure that one out here for you. All righty. Well, we'll try and figure out who number 28 is for that touchdown. The kick up and through the uprights. And Pendleton will make it a 14-0 score. Let's go ahead and take a quick 30-second break. Come back with more of Roseburg football here on 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Two scores so far for Grants Pass. They lead 14-0 after a 2-yard touchdown run for mysterious number 28. Don't have him on the roster, so we'll try to figure out who that is. Kick away, and that's into the end zone for a touchback. No, they didn't whistle it dead. I thought if it was in the end zone, it had to be a touchback. Ball came loose, penalty flag out. I think that's a penalty flag to try and mark where the ball came out and where the runner was down. Wrong beanbag grabbed by the official, but
It's going to be a horse collar is what it is, bringing
like
him down on, bringing Bryant down. They tackle him from behind at the back of the jersey where the number's at, by the neck.
And I'm pretty sure Bryant was in the end zone on that one. I thought it was an automatic touchback if it enters the end zone. But we'll get a penalty here. Helmet-to-helmet contact. So that's going to be a big 15-yarder. It's going to put Roseburg out to the 39. So from the 24, going to have the first penalty of the night. So out to the 39. And Roseburg will have first down and 10, trailing 14-0. Passing game working well so far for Grants Pass. They get the rushing touchdown. And Roseburg will try to counter here. Handoff, a little misdirection first on the fake handoff to Bryant. Give it to Gillespie up the middle. And Doran will get positive yards on first down out to the 43-yard line, a pickup of 3.
And Grants Pass defense doing a great job at that defensive end position. They're waiting to see what happens, and then they're crashing down on the runner. And we're seeing Roseburg do a bunch of huddling up tonight. I think this is probably the most huddling up that we've seen Roseburg do the entire season.
They'll break the huddle, head up to the line. 2 targets either side, ball near the right hash marks. Fake a couple of handoffs, give it to Gillespie. He makes a cut going right side. I think the play initially designed to go to the left. He cuts back to the right as he finds a seam, and he'll get it out across the 45 to the 47. Picks up another 4 yards, and he's got a manageable 3rd down and 3 for Roseburg.
And now, right now, Roseburg is huddling up, but they're only huddling up 3 yards away from the ball. And if you look, all the Grants Pass guys are within a yard or 2 of that football.
4:38 to go here in the first quarter. Grants Pass leading 14-0. Roseburg moving left to right. Warmouth in shotgun, 3rd down and 2. Gillespie to his right, trips the left side of the formation. It's a keeper for Warmouth. It opens up. He's across the 50. He's got the sideline. It's a foot race at the 25 to the 20. A stiff arm, stays in bounds on his feet, and he's finally taken down from behind as he goes out at the 6-yard line. A huge run for Colin Warmouth, and he puts Roseburg at 1st and goal.
And that was much needed right there by Roseburg to be able to pick that up. And right there, Warmouth showed how tough he was. He lowered his shoulder, and he tried to pick up every last yard that he could.
Well, that'll be a 47-yard run for Colin Warmouth. That'll be his longest of the season, eclipsing a 40-yard run earlier on. He'll set up in shotgun, Gillespie to his left. Bryant, Herskovitz, and Adams spread out wide to the left side of the field. They pitch it that direction. Gillespie following blockers through a foot tackle into the end zone. Touchdown, Roseburg! And the Indians answer on their 3rd drive of the night, and they get into the end zone to cut the deficit in half.
And right there is perfect because this is the exact time that they needed to do that here in the first quarter. It's got everybody fired up. It's got everybody on the offensive side fired up. Warmouth clapping his hands, even the sidelines fired up at this time.
6-yard touchdown run for Doran Gillespie, his 5th of the season. 4:07 to play in the first quarter. Roseburg, the PAT from Merhowie Lake is good, and Roseburg will cut the deficit in half. Trailing now 14-7. And the Roseburg Indians trying to stay in this one and not let Grants Pass get a too big of an early lead. And in fact, quite a bit of scoring here early on, Josh. And I don't know if that's necessarily a game that favors Roseburg, but they did have a shootout against Reynolds here at home in the previous home game. And Roseburg able to come out on top in that one. And so maybe they can get some offense going here on their home field. Maybe the home field advantage coming into play here tonight.
Yeah, it has to come into play tonight. Roseburg needs to score more than their average 20 points or whatever they're averaging right now to be able to win this ball game tonight.
20.5 points Roseburg is averaging. They are coming off of one of their worst offensive performances of the season. Last week only putting up, well, actually, no, not one of their worst. They put up 308 yards. They've done that's pretty decent amongst what they've done, but they also gave up over 600 yards, so that's not necessarily the type of night that you'd like to have. Offense leading down the field there for Roseburg. A big run for Colin Warmeth setting it up. Left-footed kicker Merhowie Lake after the touchdown, ready to kick it away. Ball spotted at the 40. Deep man to return for Grants Pass. Blaine Hobbs standing at the 3. Kick is away, high end over end. It's going to go short of the 10. Taken there by Imtaj. Running right side. And he'll get out across the 30, short of the 35. Now, I thought I saw 28 on the jersey for that touchdown. That's 6. Sure looks like it could be an 8. Boy, that is tough. There is a thin line between that 6 to complete it for an 8. That probably was a touchdown for Jaron Imtage. Last time I kept thinking it was number 28. I'm pretty sure it's going to be number 26 instead. That is really tough to tell.
Oh, yeah, it does. It looks like an 8 when you're just plainly looking at it.
Imtage will be set up to the left of Coyle. They hand it off to Hobbs in the backfield running the in-around sweep. Had contact initially, escapes out of it, and Warmeth will bring him down. The guy to finally get to the very shifty Blaine Hobbs. That wide receiver sweep doesn't work out for the Cavemen.
And it looks like it's going to be a 2-yard loss. He did lose 2 defenders, but Warmeth was able to still come up and clean it up.
So it'll be 2nd down and 12 for Grants Pass. Running around the left side, Imtaj cut down. It's coming up with the tackle. It's Bear. He actually stripped Imtaj out of his own shoe.
And Bear did a good job coming off of his defender to be able to make that tackle there, because the only other person left behind Bear was Warmeth.
The run takes it out to the 42 is a pickup of 10. It'll be 3rd down and 2.
And Roseburg needs a stop right now.
Defense will come up. They blitz. Pass out on the far side, and the throw is off target for Chase Coyle, and it's going to be 4th down and 2, and it looks like the punt unit will come out.
And that was a huge stop there.
Could be a 3 and out for the Grants Pass offense, and the way they looked on their first couple of drives, that's a huge win for Roseburg.
That is a huge win for Roseburg right there. Now Roseburg has to make sure they stay disciplined, don't jump on any hard count or anything like that, and get this ball.
2:50 to go, first quarter. Deep to return. It's Bear. Did not return a punt last week. He's averaging just 2.7 yards on punt returns. That one's going to take a beautiful Grants Pass roll down inside the 10 to the 5, and it'll settle down inside at the 4. A huge punt for Grants Pass, and they flip the field, tucking Roseburg back deep into their own territory.
And now Roseburg was able to open up that run game the last time they were on offense. They need to continue to do that, and then that deep ball is going to be opened up for them.
We heard head coach Dave Heiberger say in the pregame interview brought to you by Tim's Appliance that he was happy to see that the downfield game did open up a little bit for Roseburg last week. We'll see if they do try to take advantage of this deep in their own territory. The ball just shy of the 5-yard line. Warmeth is 3 for 4 through the air tonight, but just 7 yards. He sets up with his heels on the goal line. Running back to his left, that's Gillespie. Give it to him, running right side, and he runs right into a tackler. He might have lost the football. He's still got a handle on it. It'll be 2nd down, and the ball just outside the goal line. Loss of 4 on the play for Roseburg.
And that was a good job by Gillespie to pick that back up. He did lose it. He did reach down and grab it again, but losing 3 yards is not very good for Roseburg right at this time.
Oh, they are definitely tucked back in their own end zone here. It looked like Gillespie had the hold to the right side, but he tried to bounce it out instead of going just inside the tackle, and he ended up running right into the tackler right in front of him. If he had just gone to his left a little bit, I think he would have had at least a couple of yards. They'll set up with Gillespie to the right of Warmeth, and whistles will stop play as we've got a timeout down on the field. Roseburg going to burn their second timeout of the first half. They trail 14-7 with 1:53 to go here in the first quarter. Back after this 30-second break on 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Out of the Roseburg timeout. Roseburg football is brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Roseburg in their own end zone after a loss of 3 on first down. They have the ball at their own 1, facing second down and 13. Warmouth in the end zone. Gillespie to his right. 2 targets either side. No blitz coming. Pump fake once. Looking to go downfield to the sideline. That pass short. And Roseburg sideline wanting a pass interference call, but they're not going to get it. In coverage against Peyton Bryant. Downfield. You've got Cameron Decker in coverage there.
And that's a good no call by the referee right there. He wasn't touching Bryant at all. He was just in his running lane, so he couldn't get over, which is completely illegal.
So that'll make it 3rd down and a long 13 to go now for Roseburg. Trying to just give himself a little bit of breathing room for a possible punt or keep the drive going. But right now, tucked against their own end zone, you got to make sure you stay out of the end zone. Warmouth has Gillespie to his left this time. Twins to either side. Some pressure coming. Give it to Gillespie up the middle. He'll spin out of the tackle. Gets back to about the 4-yard line. He'll pick up 3 on the carry. Gives Roseburg a little bit of breathing room, but not much.
Yeah, it gives them a little bit of breathing room, not much at all. There's not a whole lot they could have done backed up like that. And everybody, all of Grants Pass defenders right there are playing within about 7 yards of the line of scrimmage. Nobody's taking Roseburg's pass game deep serious at all.
Warmouth will set up near the top of the U in Roseburg. Ball on the left hash mark as he gets ready to try and punt it away. Has not gotten a good punt so far. He's been averaging 31 yards per punt coming into tonight's contest. And this is another short one. It bounces just short of the 30 and will take a Roseburg roll, but it's not going to go very far out to the 34. And Grants Pass will have great field position here with 53 seconds to go in the first quarter.
It makes you wonder, with how well Warmouth's been kicking the ball, all of a sudden tonight he's been really short, wondering if there's something wrong with his punting foot or what's going on tonight.
Up to the line will come the Grants Pass offense led by junior quarterback Chase Coyle. 3 for 4 through the air with a touchdown. Sets up, looking to pass. Looking to go on a screen, and it's batted down in the backfield. You had Blix and Mandera in the backfield hurrying the quarterback and forcing the incompletion.
And it looked like Blix got a hand up on the ball, actually tipped the ball to cause that incompletion.
2nd down and 10 now. And up to the line will come the Cavemen. Dropping back to pass, looking to his right, has the man on the short route in the zone, picked up the 1st down inside the 20, and making the completion. That's Corbin Lopez on the catch. Take him down to the 19.
And that was Gillespie's guy that he was defending, and he got turned around on that route there and got kind of tricked. He thought it was going deep. Instead, it was a stop and go by the receiver for Grants Pass.
15 yards through the air. Over 100 yards on the night for Chase Coyle. He sets up with Imtaj to his right, hands it off to him, running to the left side of the formation, trying to stretch it. He gets through one block, slips through a tackle to the 5, diving to the end zone, and he goes out at the 1-yard line.
There is a flag on the play in the area of holding, and it looks like it is going to be holding against Grants Pass. The white hat is pointing out right now.
Signaling back at the 21, and Grants Pass offense is coming back. That'll be the 2nd penalty against Grants Pass, and it brings back a run that would have made it 1st and goal.
And that's a big penalty right there, and Roseburg needs to take advantage of that penalty here on the defensive side.
Going to call the holding out on the edge, and that's going to be on one of the wide receivers there. I believe that's might have been Orion Martin getting called for the holdout on the outside edge. The penalty backs it up to the 32-yard line. That's a loss of 10 from the spot of the foul from where the ball was last placed. They've dropped back 13 yards. Makes it 1st and 23 as the clock runs down to 18 seconds to go in the first quarter. In shotgun, Coyle. Looking to his left, rolls to his right. Pressure in the backfield. Mandera chasing him out of the pocket. He connects with Hobbs. Hobbs at the 30, taken down. Ethan Stoner on a big open field tackle.
And Ethan Stoner did a great job at squaring up, breaking down his hips, and being able to follow that receiver and bring him down on that tackle.
The completion to Hobbs goes for 1 yard, and that brings us to an end in the first quarter. It started out all Grants pass, and Roseburg finds their way back in. They trail 14-7 as we go to the second quarter. Back after this 60-second break on 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Swimming season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Start the second quarter, 12 minutes on the board. Grants Pass has the football, moving left to right now as they switch sides of the field. They've got the ball second down and long from the Roseburg 31, and whistles will blow before this one gets started in the second quarter. Coach Heiberger having a conversation with our white hat. Ball at the 31 for Grants Pass. It'll be second down. Second down and 12 for Grants Pass. Dropping back to throw. Coyle heading to the end zone, has a man open, and it's bobbled in and out of the hands of Randy Clark. A sure touchdown. It would have been his 7th of the season, but he can't hang on the deep route to the end zone.
Yeah, and he was able to get right behind it. Looks like Colbert by about 4 or 5 steps, and if he would have caught that ball, it would have been an easy touchdown for Grants Pass. And now it looks like the white hat and the line judge for the far side there over Grants Pass sideline are having a conversation about something. I don't see a penalty flag down at all, though.
I think that Roseburg's trying to claim that the chains are not set up in the right spots. The scoreboard reads 3rd and 22. It's 3rd and 12 according to the chains on the far side of the field.
And at halftime, where were they set up on the other side of the field?
At the end of the first quarter, the ball was on the 31.
So they are on the wrong spot. It's on the 29 and not 31. Roseburg saying
the ball's on the 31, but I don't know where the chains are supposed to be.
At halftime was the chains
at the end of the first quarter.
At the end of first quarter, it was at 31.
The ball was on the 31.
So
I
at
don't
the
know
end of
what
the
the
first
chains
quarter,
were.
Oh,
I'm not sure about the chains because they had the penalty.
Then that brought down second down.
Well, that was on first down because they had the pass play to the 19 for 1st and 10 from the 19. So, yeah, the first down marker should be on the 19. Yeah, they need to move it forward by 10 yards. I wish there was a way that I could communicate that to them. But, yeah, that is correct. The first down marker needs to be on the they need to get it to the 9 for a first down. It should be 3rd and 22, yeah. And I think I could overhear the official telling Coach Heiberger that the guys in the press box need to keep quiet, and that's not us. That's the PA guy. And the official's trying to explain it here. I think he's right. They had the pass play to the 19 that would have been 1st and 19, and then they had the run play that was brought back because of the holding play. So it would have been back from the 22. It would have been first down and 22.
Yeah, it should have been 22.
Yeah, that
because
seems...
they ended on second down, and now this should have been fourth down if it was in second down at the end of the quarter.
Run play up the middle for Emtich. He bounces off of blockers, speed through the middle, and he'll get taken down. Mandera and Diaz there to get him down at the 11. That will move the chains, according to what the officials say.
And that's really unfortunate right there for Roseburg.
20-yard gain. Yeah, I think it should be fourth down here and short. The ball goes down to the 11. First down and 10. They can get a first down inside the 1-yard line. Dropping back to pass is Coyle, looking to his left. Lots of time. Now finds a man open. This time, Randy Clark is not going to let it go. A TD to Clark. He had to go up, used every bit of those fingers to haul that one in, and he has an 11-yard touchdown grab to make it 20-7.
And right there, that play, Roseburg knows they should have had it fourth and short on that one. That's going to be demoralizing right there, and I think right there you saw that in the way Roseburg was playing.
An 11-yard strike for Coyle, his second touchdown pass of the night, and the PAT is blocked.
It was warm that came through the middle and blocked that.
Roseburg's done that a few times this season. They get a PAT block. We take a 30-second break and come back after this on 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
First score of the second quarter goes to Grants Pass. The Cavemen now leading 20-7 on top of Roseburg. Second touchdown pass of the night for Chase Coyle. He has found Corbin Lopez and Randy Clark, his two receiving targets, and then one touchdown run of the night for Emtich for the three scores so far for Grants Pass. Kick goes deep inside the 20. Things open up, running up the middle and out across the 40. A nice return for the Roseburg Indians, and they're already, oh no, Grants Pass was trying to say that they recovered a fumble. I thought they were calling for the trainer already immediately, but they wanted to say they recovered a fumble. I believe I saw, was that Rourke Martin returning that one for Roseburg?
It looked 30? Like Ethan Stoner, number 21, returning that one. And the ball did come out right after he hit the ground, so it's the right call by the officiating crew on this call.
Takes the ball out to the 43 for Roseburg, sets it up there. The Tribe sure would like to get another score here before the halftime break. There's still a lot of time to go before that, though. 11-10 here in the second quarter. Roseburg's first possession in the second quarter start at their own 43-yard line, ball in the middle of the field. Adams moves in motion, handed off to him on the end around. He gets to the edge. He's got great speed. He'll stretch it all the way to the sideline, goes out at the 48-yard line, and that's a nice pickup of 5 on first down for D'Angelo Adams, his first rushing carry of the season, I do believe.
And that was a good job to get around that corner and actually run and try to pick up those yards as well as he did.
Just continued to stretch it to the edge and just kept picking up a little bit more yards as he went. 5 yards, second down and 5 for Roseburg. Clock stopped at 11:05. Defense making some adjustments with twins to either side. Move Bryant in motion this time. Give it to Gage Hill running across the 50, dragging a tackler. He'll get close to the first down, and I think he's got it out to the Grants Pass 47.
And it looks like he does. He does. The White Hat signaling first down right there, and there was a really good, powerful run right there.
5-yard gain for Hill. Gets just enough for the first down on his first carry of the night. Moves the chains for Roseburg. Ball in the middle of the field, just outside the feather here on the beautifully remodeled Roseburg football field. Finlay Field will be used for football, soccer, lacrosse, all sorts of stuff. It's going to be a great facility for years to come, but only the second game for Roseburg football on this field since it's been remodeled. Adams moves in motion. Give it to him. He's looking to pass. Going to go downfield. He throws it pretty well, but it's just out in front of Bear, the intended receiver. I didn't know what to expect with Adams. We've never seen him throw the ball. I know with Doran Gillespie, who we saw him throw a touchdown last week, he's a guy that's a baseball player. I've seen him throw. He can throw. Colin Warmoth, another guy that, as a quarterback, you'd imagine could throw. He's a baseball guy. I know he can throw. Adams, I've never seen throw. That was a pretty nice tight spiral.
It was a very nice tight spiral, and if he would have just let a little bit off of that or floated it just a little bit more, it would have been right in the basket of Colbert.
Incompletion makes it second down and 10. Roseburg trailing 20-7. 10.5 to play in the first half. Adams spreads out wide to the left side. Bryant will move in motion left to right. Fake the handoff to him, looking to pass. Warmoth, pressure coming. He'll dump it off to Bryant. He makes one man miss, bursts forward, and he'll get taken down at the 45. He'll only pick up short yardage on second down, giving Roseburg third and long.
And Bryant was the check down guy for Warmoth there, and Warmoth looked at all of his receivers before he threw it to Bryant, and then Bryant did the most he could out of that. He was pretty well defended and was still able to pick up about 3 yards.
They'll officially give him 2 to the 45. Makes it third down and 8. Roseburg huddled up. Bear out to the right side. Tied in to the left, that's Carson Ellis into the game. Adams and Bryant to the left side of the formation for the Indians. Hill's in the backfield. They give it to him on a delayed handoff up the middle. Spun forward out across the 40. They will give him just to the 40-yard line. That is short of the first down marker by about 3. And Roseburg looks like they'll send the punt unit out. No, they're going to pull him back.
Yeah, right. Pulling a run on third down with third and about 8 there. I would be surprised if they wanted to punt the ball. I think they may try to get that hard count snap right now, or maybe even that inside screen.
Oh, they don't bring in the jumbo package. Gillespie, Mandera on the sideline. Hill will stay in the backfield. He moves to the right of Warmoth. They go trips left, and a penalty flag will come out. If that's a delay of game, that is a quick countdown there, it seemed like.
Yep, it's going to be a delayed game on Roseburg. That's going to be Roseburg's first penalty tonight.
And it's going to send the punt team out. So Roseburg picks up its first penalty. Grants Pass has had 2. Ball gets moved back 5 yards to the 45.
And even though that's a 5-yard penalty, that's a huge penalty for Roseburg when they could have probably easily picked up the extra 2 yards to get that first down.
Warmoth will be deep to kick in his own half of the field, standing at his own 44. He has not kicked well here tonight. He'll roll to his right and now finally squares it up and kicks it away. Lands at the 20. It takes a Roseburg bounce, and it'll settle at the 18-yard line. So he does get a good one away there. It'll get Grants Pass trapped in their own side of the field. 8:47 to go, first half, and Grants Pass with the ball on their own 18-yard line.
And right here, this is probably going to be the worst field position so far tonight that Grants Pass has started with. So Roseburg, if they could get a stop, would be huge.
20-7 our score, 8:47 to go. Grants Pass out there. They scored on their last possession. An 11-yard touchdown strike for Chase Coyle. The junior, 6'2", 204, leads the offense out there. Empty backfield. He'll back up into shotgun. Trips to his right. Pressure up. Martin looks like he's coming. He'll blitz. They go with the end-around sweep. And Emtage out to the 20 before he is hit and then slammed down up along the front line. Colton Jordan with a hard tackle. And Emtage is slow to get up. He'll now get to his feet, but he looks a little shaken up on the hard tackle by Jordan.
And it was Mandera that came in as well to help with that tackle.
They put the ball at the 21, pickup of 3 for Emtage. And he does go to the sideline. They give him a breather. He doesn't go to the trainer's table or anything. hanging out by the coach, but he will step back for a moment, and he squats down and takes a knee. Snap to Coyle in shotgun, passes it out to Hobbs. Stiff arm, he gets away from one and then gets hit out of bounds at the 33. No flag. I thought there might have been a chance for one to come out there.
Yeah, it looked like there very well could have been right there because it looked like he stepped out of bounds and then got hit, but the referee was pretty slow at getting his whistle blown.
It is a 12-yard pickup through the air for Coyle, connecting with Hobbs. And it'll be first down and 10, moving the chains there for Grants Pass. Coyle in shotgun, one man to his left. Hobbs moves in motion. Fake the handoff there. Pass, slant route, it's connected. And just brought down. Warmouth able to bring down the ball carrier. Running with it, Joel Valadez out to the 50-yard line on the slant route. Boy, he made just the right move at the right time to get free and get out to the 50.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is a 17-yard strike to Valadez. Handed off this time, running left side, stiff arm, thrown down. The ball carrier, Jake Henricks, only gains a couple of yards on first down.
And Mandera, it looked like he was going to slip right out of Mandera's hand, and Mandera refused to let go and just twisted him down and threw him on the ground.
We haven't seen Emtaj back into the game since the hard tackle. It has been Henricks back there ever since. Second down and about 7. Sidelines yelling out to the defense. They send some pressure. Diaz coming in. He'll flush him out of the pocket and hit as he throws, and he completes it to Clark, who gets drilled in the back by Bear as he makes the tackle, or as he makes the catch, and he hangs on down to the 36.
And right there, as long as you don't give up extra yards after the catch, that's still a good defensive play by Roseburg. They were able to stay. Colbert was able to stay with his receiver and still hit him right as the ball got to him.
Another 11-yard carry or reception for Clark. Quick pass now to the near side. Valadez gets a blocker downfield, and he'll get thrown out of bounds at the 30-yard line. He'll pick up 6 on the quick out pattern to the sideline for Chase Coyle.
And it's kind of interesting on that Grants Pass side. It looks like the backup quarterback over there, he's holding up cards to tell him what the defensive play is, along with hand signals by the coaches.
Clock down to 6:48 to go. Grants Pass trying to add to a 20-7 lead over Roseburg here in the first half. They're down to the Roseburg 30-yard line. Second down and 4. Roseburg sends some pressure. That one almost picked off by Bear. He read the route. That's a long throw from Coyle, and Bear almost picks it off, and now he's on the field grabbing his shin. That's his right ankle area, and Bear down on the turf. And the athletic trainer, Julie Deaver, will head on out there to attend to Colbert. That could be a huge loss with Colin Reitman already out.
Yeah, that would be a huge loss for Roseburg right now because Bear does just about everything out there.
Two-way player.
Yeah, being on defense as a corner, being a receiver, and also special teams returner.
He's limping around, but he's up walking. Play did stop for him, so he's going to have to come off the field. And we will keep an eye on that, monitor his condition. He's walking off under his own power, but showing a significant limp on the right ankle. It's a third down and 4 at the 30. They've got to get it to the 26 for a first down. It's still Henricks out there at the running back position. Emtaj has been out for about a handful of plays. Hobbs moves in motion. They go with a double handoff, and it goes to Henricks, and he almost slips a tackle, but brought down. Gillespie will stop him at the 21. It moves the chains. They had a couple of options out of the backfield. Fake it on the end-around sweep by the wide receiver. Give it to the running back on the delay handoff. First down for Grants Pass.
And right now, Mandera keeps coming through and trying to do these arm tackles, and he's just sliding right off the defenders. He's the first guy there, and I've seen it a couple times tonight, where he's the first guy there, and he tries to wrap up and then just kind of swings off of the guy carrying the ball.
First down and 10 now from the 21. Coyle dropping back to pass. Up the middle, too far out in front of Blaine Hobbs. the intended receiver over the middle. If he catches that, he's either going to get blown up or he's scoring, depending on how he is able to adjust to the safety, Colin Warmoth, coming over. That is one of those dangerous passes over the middle.
That is, especially with Warmoth right there in the middle. If Warmoth reads that play correctly, that could easily be a Roseburg interception.
2nd down and 10 from the 21. Grant's pass after a strike to the end zone. Coyle claps his hands, waiting for the shotgun snap, rolls to his left. Looking downfield, has an intermediate route. He overthrows it. It's intercepted by Roseburg. The return man is Bryant, and he's taken down. He couldn't get away from the intended receiver, but the overthrow ends up costing. The Grants Pass Cavemen will give it back, and it's Randy Clark that makes the tackle and was intended for the pass, and a penalty flag comes off at the end of the play, and it looks like it's against Grants Pass.
Oh, is it? I was thinking
it's back by where all the Grants Pass guys were, and they keep pointing towards Grants Pass.
Yeah, there's one there, and there's one right over here, too, on the 15 or 14-yard line that I saw come out, and I was thinking maybe celebrating unsportsmanlike conduct by Roseburg.
For Peyton Bryant, that is an interception. 2 fouls, it sounds like. Unsportsmanlike against Grants Pass and unsportsmanlike against Roseburg. They will offset, I do believe. But Roseburg football on the interception. And so the penalty's offset, no addition to the end of the play. But for Peyton Bryant, let's see here. That is his 2nd interception of the season. Roseburg will have the football. They keep Grants Pass out of the end zone. They trail 20-7. 6:03 to play in the first half. Roseburg has the football deep in their own territory yet again. The ball sitting at the 7.
But that's a huge momentum builder for Roseburg's defense right there to stop them.
Warmoth will be just outside of the end zone as he comes out to lead the offense. First turnover of the ball game for either team. He gives it to Hill, running right side. And he'll gain just short yardage on first down. You know, these Roseburg runners have been good this season, but tonight I find them seeming to choose to run into a pack of white jerseys when it looks like there could be cutback lanes or other seams opening up that they're just not seeing.
Yeah, and it's like the coaches are changing out running backs back and forth to call in the plays. I'm not really liking the way the run game has been the last 2 weeks. It's been really hard for Roseburg to move the ball on the run game.
Gillespie comes back in. I almost wonder if they were giving him a bit of a breather since he's playing on the defensive side of the ball as well. He'll be to the left of Warmoth, who sends a man in motion. That's Bryant. Now gives a delayed handoff to Gillespie. Not a lot opened up for him. He'll get across the line of scrimmage out near the 10. They will spot him at the 10-yard line, and Roseburg will have 3rd down and 7.
Yeah, but part of the problem with the running backs running into the white is the offensive line's not getting the holes opened up for them as well.
Gillespie comes back off as Hill will go back out there. 4:55 and counting. Roseburg facing 3rd down and 7. They've got to get it out to the 17-yard line. Ball on the 10 in the middle of the field. Twins to either side. Bryant and Herskovitz are your slot receivers. They'll go to Adams on the near side, off to the races, and he's out to the 25. They'll put him down at the 26, and D'Angelo Adams will move the chains.
And that's the kind of damage that D'Angelo Adams can do. He does have quite a bit of speed, and so if he could just get away from some of the white jerseys there and get open, he could be gone to the house with one of these passes.
He used his speed there to just push the receivers back or the defenders back and get a couple extra yards. He'll set up, spread out to the left side of the field. They throw to the far side. It goes to Herskovitz, gets a block he needs, gets around through one tackler, and Herskovitz down the sideline, stays in bounds. No, they say he stepped out at the 44. He tried to take it down the field a little bit further, but he goes out as he tried to tightrope the sideline, but there is a penalty flag back in the backfield.
And that's in the area of holding there.
We'll see what the call is here, but it does look it could be against Roseburg. And Roseburg walking it back here.
Yeah, it is holding. And I think it's against Bryant. He was talking, and White Hat was talking right back to Bryant about it.
So it's going to be a Roseburg penalty. Negates a big play there for Eddie Herskovitz. Hershkovitz, the senior receiver, had just 4 catches coming into the night. He's got 1 so far. Had what could have been his longest catch of the night, or of the season. Gillespie comes off. The ball back to the 15-yard line. So 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. And Roseburg losing 9 yards total on the play. Still first down. High snap, pulled it down, give it to Hill, and he is met at the line of scrimmage and taken right down as he's pushed back, but they give him his forward progress out to the 15. Doesn't pick up anything on first down.
And now Colbert's coming back out onto the field right now, bringing in the play call to Warmouth.
So that's good to see the Bear, after an ankle injury it looked like, stays in the game, and he heads back out there. A weapon for Roseburg. 3:42 to go and counting. Second down and 21. Got to get it out to the 36. Warmouth, quick pass near side. It goes off the hands for Adams. Thinking about what he's doing downfield before he catches the ball. It's incomplete.
Yeah, exactly what I thought. It looked like he took his eyes off right as the ball was getting there. Instead of watching it all the way into his hands, he was already trying to decide where he was going with that ball.
So it'll make it third down and 21 after the incompletion. Better night tonight for Colin Warmouth on the completion percentage. Right now looking at 5 for 8, but he's only got a total of 25 yards. Clock stopped with 3:32 to go on the incompletion. Bryant in the slot. Hershkovitz also spread out to the left along with Adams. Fake the handoff, play action, looking downfield. Tipped, nearly intercepted, but a penalty flag. 2 of them come out. And Roseburg's probably going to benefit from this one.
Yeah, I would say they would, and I'm not quite sure I agree with this penalty. It didn't even look like he was touched, and it looks like it's probably going to be pass interference on Grant's pass.
Penalty flag is at the 30-yard line. That's not past the first down markers, so if it's a spot foul, they get it there. Roseburg would still be short of the first down, but they'd have a shot at third down. Well, it could be an automatic first down as well.
That's fourth down, they're saying still.
So they get the 15-yard penalty. It does move it out to the 30, and they get to replay third down, it looks like.
And it was a pass interference.
So the ball out to the 30. It's a 15-yard penalty. Roseburg will get another look at it here. Third down now and 6 to try and make up. Warmouth in shotgun, fakes the handoff. Quick pass near side to Adams. The pass short and incomplete. Would have been good for the first down, but Warmouth couldn't get it there.
No, and it just went right. It was pretty low pass. Adams had to dive for it, and then it went right through his hands. It hit the ground.
Clock stopped with 3:23 to go. Roseburg looks like they'll punt it away. After their interception, they're unable to turn it into points, trailing 20-7 here in the second quarter. Grants Pass will receive the ball to start the second half. Warmouth set up at his own 18 to try and kick it away. And he'll get a boot behind this one. Nobody deep to return it, and that one will take a Roseburg bounce and will settle at the 20-yard line. Good kick there with no return man deep for Grants Pass, and Roseburg will flip the field.
And Grants Pass just wasn't expecting them with 3:13 left to actually punt that ball away, and Colbert was able to come back and down that ball on the 20-yard line.
Well, they do give it to the 21 is exactly where they'll spot it. Roseburg football tonight is brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. Offense back out on the field for Grants Pass. Last time it ended in an interception for Chase Coyle. Just his 4th INT of the year. In shotgun, he'll pass out to the far side, and that one is a forward pass, incomplete, intended for Blaine Hobbs. And a penalty flag out near where the wide receivers were. Interesting spot on that play. Could be a spot of holding.
Yeah, by one of the receivers, I would imagine.
Yeah, on that wide receiver screen.
And Grants Pass is backing up as if it is.
See what our official says. It is holding against the offense. That'll back them up. They'll repeat first down. So instead of the incompletion, it'll be a penalty on Grant's pass, and the Cavemen will be backing up yet again. They've had quite a few. Roseburg won the penalty game last week, but unfortunately didn't win the game. They're winning the penalty game, I think, here tonight so far, and unfortunately the score's still not in their favor. 20-7 in favor of Grant's pass. 3:09 to play. Dropping back to pass. Hit as he throws, and the pass is short, and Chase Coyle took a hit from the blind side as he threw to Randy Clark to his right. He got drilled, but he comes up short on the pass.
And the receiver, the intended receiver, was Randy Clark, number 23 for Grant's pass. And he saw all the Roseburg guys coming for him. He saw it was low. He put his hands up and was like, nope, I'm not catching this, guys.
Didn't want any part of the defense coming at him there, and in the backfield, Coyle also paying for it as well. He'll set up in shotgun. Mandera will blitz, trying to get around the tackle, and then he will get the quarterback at the line of scrimmage, helping out up along that front line. That is up there in the middle. Elijah Norris, the tackle, he had a choice between Mandera and Norris. He took Mandera, and Norris flushes the quarterback. Mandera then takes the tackle.
Yeah, exactly. It was really well performed by both young men right there for Roseburg's defense. One went for him. The defender picked up Mandera for just a second, but Mandera was able to come off and get off of him and make that tackle.
So it makes it now 3rd down and long, 22 yards to go. Defense coming up with a nice series here so far. They've got a hold. Dropping back to pass, Coyle goes downfield, and he is off the mark. His pass intended downfield, I believe that is Orion Martin. No, excuse me, that is Valadez on the intended receiver, too far out in front of him. The incomplete will make it 4th down and long, and here comes the punt unit.
And this is a big stop by Roseburg, but right now I'm seeing the corners are getting burned by the receivers. Anytime it's a long streak back, all the corners are getting burned, and all Grant's pass has to do is connect with one of those receivers, and it's going to be a big touchdown for Grant's pass.
The punter will be in his own end zone. That's Andrew Medley. And he'll kick it away. Oh, Roseburg had a guy back there, couldn't get to it. The ball bounced at the 34, and Roseburg will have good field position to start out on this drive, but only 2:12 to play in the first half as they look to try and get a score and cut it back down to a one-possession game.
And right now they need to do exactly what they did the first home game, where they scored 2 touchdowns within, I believe, 2 minutes? It was about the same amount of time between halftime, I believe, and was able to come up on top.
Roseburg down 20-7, 2:12 to go here in the first half. They've got the ball in Grants Pass territory at the 39. Opportunity for Warmouth in the offense. Adams in the slot to the left along with Herskovitz out that way. They move Adams in motion. Hand it to him on the end-around sweep. He'll get to the edge, stretching it upfield. He loses the football. Roseburg has enough guys there to jump on it. I think they've got it back. Adams somehow got it back in his hands. Wow.
It got batted back to him. I think it was Gillespie that was able to bat him back, and it looks like we've got a Grants Pass player down now.
We do have a man down for the Cavemen, and that would be
number
Christian
22.
Tucker, a senior linebacker, down on the field. Looks like it's a lower leg injury on his left side that they are investigating, and he looks to be in a decent amount of pain. That's not a great sign right now for the Cavemen. Adams able to get the football back. They put him down at the 31-yard line. It's a pickup of 8. The play worked great, but he's got 1 fumble so far this season. He's got to protect that football when they're coming for it.
Yeah, and he looked for the contact right there. He lowered his shoulders, tried to make that hit, and I think by lowering his shoulder, it kind of jostled that ball around a little bit.
It popped up in the air and got batted around like a ping pong ball. And I didn't know how he came back up with it, but a good thing for Roseburg that he did.
It looked like I thought somebody else for Roseburg ended up with it, but the only thing I can guess is that the guy that I thought ended up with it just kind of tapped it back to Adams.
So Tucker, the linebacker, will walk off the field gingerly, but under his own power. And trying to see here. The listed backup for him doesn't seem to be out on the field, so not sure who comes in for him at that linebacker position. Roseburg will have 2nd down and 2. Gillespie in the backfield with Warmoth. Defensive front jumps. Roseburg does not. And they'll pause. Got to make sure you avoid a penalty here. Warmoth hands it off. Gillespie running left side. He gets the first down, it looks like. And it is a huge scrum in the middle of the field. They will blow the play dead as he gets to the 28, and that should move the chains. Roseburg first down inside the 30.
And right there, I see where you're seeing that they're just running into the white jerseys. There was a bigger hole to the right side of that offensive line side, and he did not take it.
A minute 23 and counting for Roseburg. They got to start speeding things up here. Warmoth will move Adams in motion again. Fake the handoff to him. Has a man open on the seam route. It's Bryant again. Touchdown! Roseburg into the end zone. And the Indians will strike before the halftime break.
And that was a perfect play by Roseburg because they were faking it to Adams right there. And Grants Pass's defense bid on that. They took a step in, allowing Bryant to get open for just a second. Warmoth saw it, was able to throw it into a pretty tight window to allow him to get down the field and score that touchdown.
Peyton Bryant last week had a one catch for 23 yards. It was a touchdown catch on a very similar play. This time he catches it, his third of the night, and it goes for 28 yards to the house. Merhowy Lake trying to put it through the uprights, and the kick is good. And Roseburg's back within 6 against the Grants Pass Cavemen as we have a minute 13 to go before the halftime break. We'll take a quick 30-second pause and come back with the rest of the first half here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
First passing touchdown of the night for Colin Warmoth. That's his 5th of the year. And that'll be the 2nd for Peyton Bryant, scoring in back-to-back weeks. A minute 13 to go before the break, and Roseburg back within 6, 20-14 the score. Merhowy Lake will kick it away. Angles it towards the sideline. It's taken at the 20 by Clark. He's going to try and stretch it to the far side of the field. Mandera comes in, ripped at the football. It came loose. But they'll whistle the ball dead before as Randy Clark takes it out past the 30 to the 33-yard line. I almost thought Roseburg had a chance of stealing that one away, but Grants Pass offense will come out with 1:06 still to go before the break, and now it's the Cavemen that look for a quick strike offense here.
Yeah, the Cavemen are going to try to toss this ball around. We've seen it so far all night long. Roseburg's defense needs to play them back. They can give it up short, but they don't need to give anything up behind them at all.
The only counter up to that is that these guys have been shifty. If you let the underneath route complete, you got to make sure you tackle. In shotgun, Coyle looking to his right. He does go on a short route. It's complete. Shimmy shake around one defender and unable to escape more. Out to the 43-yard line on the completion. It's Corbin Lopez. He moves the chains. It'll be first down and 10 from the 43, a pickup of 10.
And so far tonight, what we've seen is Grants Pass receivers are really good. If the ball's right at that numbers, they're able to haul this ball in fairly decently.
The clock continues to run once they set the chains as he stayed in bounds. Under 45 to play. Going deep downfield, Clark. That one way overthrown. The intended target is Randy Clark. He was marked by Bear and in the backfield. A little bit pumped up on that throw. Chase Coyle airs it out to the far sidelines out of bounds.
Yeah, and it was really well covered there by Bear. The only concern I have right now is that safety with Warmoth. Warmoth's allowing his guy to get behind him almost every single time.
Late adjustment here. Bryant having to move out to the far side of the field to cover the slot receiver. Grants Pass will look to the sideline to find out the play. Out on that far side of the field, you've got Valadez along with Henricks, and the wideout is Randy Clark. And a timeout's going to be called by Grants Pass. 42.8 seconds to go here in the first half. They want to talk about it, make sure they get the play they want with just seconds left on the clock here in the first half. Before halftime, 20-14 our score. We'll have a stat update coming for you throughout the halftime. We'll also check on scores of other games going on, update you on some of the changes to tonight's schedule. Smoke did end up postponing some games around the region and other games of note, so we'll take a look at that. Want to let you know tonight's game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces. That's Fisher's Hearth and Home. And tonight's game brought to you by Flyway Travel. Contact their travel experts for your travel plans. Now located at 1445 West Harvard Avenue in Roseburg. Over on I-101, Dan Bain with the call again for Sutherland. The Sutherland Bulldogs at home to begin league play. They're hosting Lapine. Tonight, pretty much all the games, league games tonight for everybody. For the 6A, 3A, and 2A schools, it's all league openers tonight. For the 1A schools, they're all continuing league games as they had gotten started earlier in the season. All right, out of the timeout, second down and 10. Coyle fakes the handoff, looking to throw on the near route. It's short. It's Lopez with some blockers. He gets through them. It's a foot race. He's into Roseburg territory, and he goes out of bounds. Chased by Mandera and Warmouth out at the 25. And Corbin Lopez had 3 blockers in front of him. He just had to wait for something to open up.
And I'm still trying to figure out how Grants Pass is doing this, where they're getting enough blockers in front of the exact same amount of defenders. There's a mismatch somewhere, and I'm trying to figure out where it's at.
32 yards on that completion for Lopez. Looking to pass again. Coyle goes on the out route, and he airmails that one to the sideline, intended for Valadez. So the incompletion stops the clock with 29.9 seconds to go. Grants Pass will get the ball to start the second half. So they'd love to get a score here and then bookend it with a score to start the second half and really start to build a lead. Roseburg will send some extra pressure, having to pass. Hit as he threw, and a penalty flag out at the end of the play. Roseburg clobbering the quarterback, and Coyle goes down as he airmails that one to the sideline. He had a lot of pressure in his face, and Roseburg's going to get called for it.
Yeah, it's going to be number 62, Colton Jordan, that came up with that hit, it looks like.
Well, I think they might have given it to Rourke Martin, possibly the guy that was called for that one. I thought I heard number 30.
Yeah, I did too.
And he is out there at the linebacker position. Well, that's going to be a big one there against Roseburg, moving Grants Pass closer to the end zone. But the clock is still a factor here. If Roseburg can keep them and hold them on a few possessions, ball moves down to the 14-yard line. They've been able to get in the backfield and rush Chase Coyle on a few passes. They just got to be smart when trying to attack him. 26.3 to play in the first half. Coyle with a man to his left. Dropping back to pass. They send pressure again. He steps up in the pocket, trying to escape. He won't. He's taken down, and with the tackle, stepping up and making the stop, Clayton Brelage will make the stop. Brelage gets in there and brings down Coyle. The clock will stop with the timeout with 17 seconds to go. They push him back to the 24.
And right there, the way that Clayton Berlage actually made that tackle in the NFL that we've seen on Sunday, he landed with most of his body weight onto the quarterback. That would have been a penalty in the NFL.
Yeah, Brelage might have gotten a flag on that one, although his name's not Casey Matthews, so it might have been an okay play. So Sack takes it back 10 yards, a loss. A great job getting into the backfield there for Brelage. Last week he had a tackle for loss and 2 tackles. So the big man, a junior, 6 foot 200, continues to get back into the backfield and pressure on the defensive side of the ball. 17 seconds to go after Grants Pass uses their second timeout. Each team with 1 left. You got to imagine maybe a couple of chances to go to the end zone here for the Cavemen after this timeout.
I would imagine they're going to have maybe 2 plays, 3 at the most, to be able to get this into the end zone.
We've seen them be able to strike downfield quickly, so it's not out of reach, but Roseburg helping their cause. 17 seconds. Hobbs moves from left to right, looking to pass, going downfield. He's got Clark on the out route. Clark tackled out of bounds. They will stop the clock. He goes out at the 10. It's still going to be second down and about 6 to pick up. And a nice job by Bear to tackle him and make sure that Randy Clark didn't slip out.
Yeah, a really good wrap up by Cole Bear. He was able to wrap up all the way around him to bring him down.
14 yards through the air. Clock stopped at 10.5 seconds to play in the first half. Roseburg's defense trying to come up with a big stop. Trailing 20-14, about to the halftime break. Hobbs in motion and a penalty flag out. False start on Grant's pass.
And that's going to really help Roseburg out right there.
That will move the ball back just a little bit. For Grant's pass, they are racking up plenty of penalties here in this first half. Ball back to the 15. Now, it doesn't necessarily, with so little time on the clock, they're going to put the clock back to 10.5 seconds. With just 10.5 seconds to go in this first half of this contest, the first down marker's not necessarily the biggest concern, but they could get a first down at the 4-yard line. It would stop the clock until they reset the ball. Twins to either side for Coyle. He drops back his shotgun, gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. It's Zach Mandera from the blind side, and he takes down Coyle, who takes another punishing hit in the backfield.
And right now, Roseburg is really getting on to the Grants Pass quarterback. They are hitting him, and they're hitting him as hard as they can. And I'm not sure how much more punishment that quarterback can actually take.
And it also forces fourth down. So now we look to see the field goal unit come out. And looking to kick, the place kicker, Christian Pendleton, a senior, 5'9", 192 pounds, right-footed kicker. I do not have any stats on field goals for Grant's Pass. This is going to be a 31-yard attempt. He gets the kick away. It's got the distance. It's good. So they do get points before the halftime break. 23-14 will be the score on the field goal from 31 yards out. 2.7 seconds on the clock for Roseburg, who will get a kickoff before the half comes to an end. And they currently trail by 9.
And it'd be a huge thing right now if Roseburg was somehow able to run this back for a touchdown, go into halftime, trailing only by less than 3 or right about 3 points.
So 2.7 to go. 23-14. Grant's Pass in front. The Cavemen have led the entire way, but Roseburg has never let it feel comfortable. And the Indians will have to come out of the halftime break and show some spirit. This Roseburg team in the third quarter has been outscored 40-28 this season. In the fourth quarter, outscored 40-7. Second half has not necessarily been kind to Roseburg. They'll look to change that fortune coming up here tonight, but they've got 2.7 seconds left. See what kind of kickoff we get here. If it's short, if I'm Grant's Pass, I kick it short, let somebody fall on it, and then Roseburg likely taking a knee before the halftime break is what I would guess.
Yeah, that's what I would do if I was Grant's Pass right now.
Kickoff coming away from Pendleton, who just hit the field goal. He does kick it. That one angled to the sideline. It'll bounce away towards the end zone. It's picked up. The return man for Roseburg tripped down just before the 20, and that will end the first half. We head to the halftime break. A great first half. Only 9 points separate the two teams. Grant's Pass in front, 23-14 on top of the Roseburg Indians. We'll come back and recap it for you. Get your first half stats and the recap, as well as check scores from other games. Coming up, it's your Cooper's Pest Control halftime show here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
And we welcome you back here for your Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. The Roseburg Indians and the Grants Pass Cavemen squaring off here tonight. Your score right now, 23-14, Grants Pass in front of the Roseburg Indians. Joey Kieran, Joshua Nelson here with you from Finlay Field tonight. A big thanks to Cruz Ibanez back in the studio for his production work this evening on the radio side of things, and a big thanks to Angela Kieran helping run the the video production here on site at Finlay Field as we get ready for the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. Want to stop and let you know Cooper's Pest Control is your locally owned bug assassins with great low rates. Give them a call at 673-0363. Well, just a 9-point game at halftime, Josh, and I would be lying to you if I didn't say that it felt like Grants Pass was just on the verge of breaking away with this one and maybe kind of taking away all the momentum from the Roseburg Indians in the first half. But Roseburg did a nice job of not giving up, not giving in, and fighting their way back to keep this game interesting as we get ready for the second half.
Yeah, Roseburg did a great job so far tonight actually defending this Grants Pass team that really likes to air it out. They're having a little problems letting the receivers behind them. That's my concern right now, is they're letting them behind them. But the penalties on the Grants Pass side are probably what's hurting Grants Pass the most. They have 5 penalties for 55 yards so far tonight. But Roseburg's doing a great job on their side, where they've only had 3 penalties for only 30 yards.
Taking a look at your first half drive summaries, the Roseburg Indians had the ball first but had to punt. Grants Pass would get their first possession, and they would end up scoring. It only took one play. They started at the 50-yard line. First pass play of the game, Chase Coyle finds the wide receiver Corbin Lopez, and 50 yards to the house for Lopez in all of 12 seconds. And Grants Pass took a 7-0 lead. They made it 14-0 on their next possession. This time it was a 2-yard run by Jaron Emtage, and it made it 14-0 on the extra point kick by Christian Pendleton. Roseburg would finally get on the board on their third possession of the ball game. This time a 6-yard touchdown run by Doran Gillespie. It was set up by a 42-yard run by Colin Warmouth that made it 1st and goal, and then pushing it into the end zone was Gillespie. So the Indians would trail 14-7 after the end of the first quarter. In the start of the second quarter, took just a couple of plays, and finally the second touchdown pass of the game for Chase Coyle. This time he finds Randy Clark from 11 yards out. The extra point was blocked, made it 20-7. Roseburg got a stop down in the red zone. It was Peyton Bryant with his second straight week with an interception, picking off Chase Coyle down in the red zone, stopping a drive by Grants Pass. Roseburg unable to take advantage, but a couple of punts back and forth, and Roseburg would get the ball with 2:12 to play in the first half, and they would march down the field. They only had 39 yards to go. Only took them 3 plays and a touchdown pass from Colin Warmouth to Peyton Bryant, 28 yards out, and Peyton Bryant has an interception and a touchdown grab here tonight, and he made the score 20-14. Roseburg's defense does a nice job to hold Grants Pass in the final drive of the first half, but the Cavemen able to sneak a 31-yard field goal through the uprights from Christian Pendleton to make it 23-14 here at the halftime break. And haven't looked at any of the stat numbers yet here, Josh, but we do have our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game coming up in the postgame show, and Peyton Bryant making a case for that here right now, an interception and a touchdown grab.
Yeah, Peyton Bryant's doing a great job so far. He's playing both sides of the field. He's doing a great job with getting that interception, reading the quarterback's eyes, seeing where that ball's at, and being able to get his hands on it tonight.
We will take a look at your stats coming up here in the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. So don't go anywhere. We'll have a stat update for you coming up. Do want to say thanks to Abby's Legendary Pizza providing our halftime meal here at Finlay Field. Back with more of the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show after this here on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here at the halftime break, Roseburg trailing Grants Pass 23-14. The Tribe keeping this one close through the first half, and they'll try to come away with a second half comeback to steal their first conference victory of the season. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of your first half stats brought to you by Umpqua Dairy, your local dairy since 1931. First for the Grants Pass Cavemen, quarterback Chase Coyle has attempted 24 passes so far in the first half, and he has got 224 yards through the air, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Jaron Imtaj has 6 carries, 37 yards, and 1 touchdown. He did leave the game in the second quarter, and I don't really know if we ever saw Imtaj back onto the field. His backup, Jake Henricks, looked like he spent a lot of the time and was out there on the final drive of the first half. It'll be interesting to see if he's able to come back here in the second half. Henricks did have 2 carries for 12 yards, and not a lot else on the ground so far for Grants Pass. Through the air, Blaine Hobbs, 3 catches, 50 yards. Randy Clark, 3 catches, 36 yards, and a touchdown. Corbin Lopez, 4 catches, 108 yards, 1 score. J.J. Watts, 1 catch for 8 yards, and Jesse Valadez had 2 catches for 23 yards. On the other side for Roseburg, Colin Warmoth, 10 attempts in the first half. He's completed 6 of them for 53 yards, and he's got 1 score through the air, a 28-yard strike. And D'Angelo Adams had 1 passing attempt on a wide receiver pass, and he ended up incomplete on that one. On the ground, Doran Gillespie, 7 carries, 13 yards only. He does have a rushing touchdown, so actually make it 19 yards. I did not have that touchdown marked down. That came in the first quarter for Roseburg. So 19 yards on the ground for Doran Gillespie. Colin Warmoth, 49 yards rushing, most of those coming on 1 carry. And Gage Hill has 11 yards on 4 carries, 13 yards for D'Angelo Adams on 2 carries. Through the air for Warmoth, connected with Herskovitz once for 10 yards, 2 passes to D'Angelo Adams for 14 yards, and 3 receptions for Peyton Bryant, 29 yards total, and he has got a touchdown to his total as well. That is a look at your Umpqua Dairy stats here from the first half. We're going to have a look at the second half coming up for you here in just a moment. But before we do that, let's go ahead and send it over to Josh. He's got a look at some scores of note from around the Umpqua Basin and beyond. What are you seeing for scores so far from the first half of action tonight, Josh?
So right now at halftime, I've got Glide up 38-0 on Illinois Valley. North Douglas is 30, Oak Ridge 14 at half. And I've got Sutherland 21, La Pine 0. Douglas at St. Mary's was postponed till 11 a.m. tomorrow. In Southwest Conference, I have South Medford versus McNary, 21-0 South Medford. And then Pac-12 football tonight, Colorado is up on UCLA 21-16.
All right, and should make note that in the Southwest Conference tonight, you had Sheldon at North Medford scheduled. North Medford is pretty much toast. You mentioned Douglas. They were scheduled to play at St. Mary's in Medford today. That's been postponed to tomorrow. Well, Sheldon at North Medford tonight was also postponed, and that has been moved to tomorrow. They're scheduled to play in Medford at 1, but if conditions are still too bad to play in Medford, they'll move it to Eugene and play at 7 o'clock tomorrow night in that Southwest Conference opener for both Sheldon and North Medford. Want to send a shout-out down on the field to the cheerleaders that are out there performing. If I'm not mistaken, I believe they've got a bit of an alumni group out there tonight, a Roseburg alumni group performing for us this evening along with the Roseburg cheerleaders, so that's cool to see a couple of former Roseburg cheerleaders out there on the field with this year's class of cheerleaders as well. And I also wanted to make note, I did have something I wanted to pass along. In fact, Josh, I meant to mention this during Off the Wall today at noon as we were talking about things, but got a message from Steve Lander, head wrestling coach for the Roseburg wrestling team. They've got their Roseburg Mat Club dinner and auction coming up. It is October 13th. Is when they'll be holding that. And let me double check and make sure I've got all my details here. I believe it is October 13th. Yep. They've got a raffle going on right now. You can buy raffle tickets, $50 a piece. It's a reverse raffle. The week of the dinner and auction, they're going to start drawing numbers, and then the last ticket they have left in the jar, that's going to be the winner. Not the first one that you draw out like normal. They'll draw out people that are losers until they've got one ticket left, and that person's winner. There's only 100 raffle tickets available, and if everyone sells out, the winner will get $2,500.
Oh, wow.
That's not too shabby right there. They do have the auction going on as well. If you'd like to buy a raffle ticket, you can contact Kathy Gallego, and that is 541-643-1031. We will put up more information at 541radio.com here in the near future. And if you'd like to go to the event, they're selling tickets at Associated Sellers. You can buy tickets to go to the Roseburg Mat Club dinner and auction. The auction starts at 5:30 that night. Tickets are limited and they're almost sold out, so if you'd like to go, you better hurry and get in on that. The Roseburg Mat Club dinner and auction coming up October 13th. Get tickets at Associated Sellers.
So I do need another update. In the third quarter, Colorado is now up on UCLA 28-16. UCLA jumped out quick in the first quarter, scored 10 points. Colorado 7, but Colorado has held them to a field goal every other quarter since.
Chip Kelly and the UCLA Bruins. It has been a tough start, not what we're used to seeing out of Chip Kelly in college football. All right, we got to go to our final break. We'll wrap up the Cooper's Pest Control halftime show. Again, Cooper's Pest Control, give them a call today at 673-0363 to take care of your bug problems. Second half coming up for us in just a few here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Swimming season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
Getting ready for the second half. Joey Kieran, Joshua Nelson here with us as well. Grants Pass leading at 23-14 as they will receive the football to start the second half. They're warming up on the far sideline as we stand high above the home grandstands here at Finlay Field. And Josh, we've seen this for a second time. Some buddies of mine, they don't work in radio. They don't go to high school football games every Friday night. They were sending out some photos in a group text message that I've got saying they're out at whatever establishment drinking adult sodas, and they were checking in with everybody, and I sent a picture of my water bottle looking down on beautiful Finlay Field here, and I actually had one of the guys comment, "Whoa, are you at Roseburg High School tonight, Joey?" I said, "Yes," and he goes, "That looks better than Reser Stadium." Now, I'm sure that comparison is because of the orange and black, and, well, we're all Duck fans, so maybe they're making fun of Reser Stadium a little bit. But, nonetheless, this field looks absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous field. Everything they've done with it completely. I mean, the black end zones make this thing really pop with that green field, and then all of a sudden you got black on both sides. It's just gorgeous.
I know they had considered maybe changing up some of the end zone design, maybe go with something a little wild, but I think in the end they tried to keep it nice and subtle. The black background, the orange lettering, white outlines, it looks gorgeous. The field itself looks gorgeous. It's great to walk on. Man, I'm glad to be back at home. Kick away to start the second half. Merhowie Lake boots it deep. It's Randy Clark trying to get around the far edge. He's going to take it all the way to the far sideline, and not a bad return for Grants Pass to start out the second half.
Very, very good return by Grants Pass, and it looks like it was Isaiah Moore that ended up getting that shoestring tackle and holding on to him all the way out of bounds.
So Grants Pass will have the football out at their own 42 as they start, leading 23-14. Tonight's football game brought to you by Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages and by our friends at I-5RV. Visit I-5RV and find your new adventure for as low as 0% down and $149 a month. Fake the handoff. No, give it up the middle. It is Henricks running again, and the backup doing some hard running and picking up good yardage on first down. Doesn't move the chains, but he's into Roseburg territory.
That's probably one of the longest, if not the longest, run play that we've seen from Grants Pass right up the middle. Oh, and the reason that opened up is Roseburg actually did not blitz anybody for one of the first times on defense.
So Henricks starts the second half as the running back. We'll see if Emtaj is maybe still in pads over on the sideline and see if he's available. And they hand it off to Henricks again, and he is stuffed at the line of scrimmage. He'll lose yardage back into Grants Pass territory. I think they put him back at the 49.
And right there, that's why Grants Pass hasn't ran the ball a whole lot, and they've been throwing it around. That offensive line, you can see today for Grants Pass, is inexperienced. They have 5 brand new guys starting on that offensive line.
So he ends up losing 2 on the play. Does Henricks. Now they look to pass out into the flats to Lopez. Gets 1 block. He gets around, and it's Diaz that gets him by a shoestring, bringing down Lopez. But in Roseburg territory, he moves the chains.
And a really good tackle by Diaz to be able to just barely be able to get a hand on his foot to trip him up, bring him down.
So he moves into Roseburg territory, 11 yards on the completion from Coyle to Lopez. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 40 for Grants Pass. Over 200 yards passing tonight for Chase Coyle. He's in shotgun, looking to his left, now back to his right, goes down the seam, and he overthrows the intended receiver. Peyton Bryant in coverage, and a penalty flag in the backfield.
And it looks like it's going to be a holding right here on Grants Pass, and came from the area of where Diaz was. Yeah, Diaz is a little bit shorter than these offensive line guys, and he's still coming at the offensive line guys with everything he has.
And I believe that'll be a spot foul. It'll be back at the 45.5. So, yeah, they counted off from the 45. This is going to be a loss of about 15 yards from the spot of the foul. Well, it'll be 10 from the spot of the foul, but that's 5 yards deep. That's a big penalty against Grants Pass.
Yeah, huge penalty by Grants Pass, but it was holding against Grants Pass.
So they go back to their own 45-yard line. Negates the pass downfield. And Grants Pass has been shooting themselves in the foot some, and a lot of pressure from Roseburg's defense in the backfield. They send a couple of guys, pressure coming, and he gets the pass away out to the far side. It's Clark weaving through defenders. He will not make up the entire bit of the penalty. Well, he does make up the penalty, but he doesn't get it back to where they started this series of downs. It'll be 3rd down and about 13 to go for Grants Pass.
And these little bubble screens out there are working really, really well for Grants Pass. They're doing a great job at blocking after the receiver catches the ball.
It was a 12-yard pickup through the air out to Clark. Looking to pass. Coyle goes on the quick comeback route to Clark. He slips through one tackle. He'll have the 1st down. The defender couldn't bring him down, and Clark keeps the feet going and escapes to move the chains down to the 28-yard line.
And that was Colbert. That's one of the first mistakes we've seen him actually make. He did not get his arms all the way around the receiver to wrap him up and bring him down, and you're not going to see that very often with Colbert.
15-yard completion. Coyle will hand it off in the backfield. Blaine Hobbs taken down. It's Diaz on the blitz that gets the runner in the backfield.
And I was wondering when Diaz was going to show up in this game. We hadn't called his name a whole lot, and we've called his name a couple times now here in the second half.
The loss of yards. It's a tackle for loss. Back to the 35. That's a loss of 7 for Hobbs on the carry. He's only gone backwards tonight. He's got -9 yards. 2nd down and 17 to go for Grants Pass. 2 targets either side for Coyle. Delayed handoff. Henricks up the middle, and Mandera's there to trip him up. Slams him down, and it's going to be a pickup of only about 1.5 yards. And it'll be 3rd down and long once again for Grants Pass. Roseburg almost got him last time. They're going to have to try and get off the field this time.
It was a really good tackle by Mandera right there to be able to bring him down. So Roseburg needs to keep everything in front of them, but they need to get to the ball carrier and not allow the yards after a catch.
So it's at the 34. They've got to get it to the 18. Coyle looking downfield. He's going to go way downfield. And the penalty flag going to come out. In coverage, Isaiah Moore was all over the top of Lopez. And unfortunate, that pass looked like it was probably going to be too deep.
Yeah, that pass was going to be too deep, but Isaiah Moore did not realize that. And the only thing he could do to stop that receiver was to jump on his back and try to bring him down.
Coach Heiberger out there arguing the call on this one. Now, I don't think it's going to be an automatic 1st down, which would make it 3rd down and 1. There's 2 fouls on the play. There is a hold on the offense and pass interference on the defense. So the penalties will offset, and that'll be a big boost for Roseburg. We'll continue 3rd down and 16.
Yeah, that is huge right there. I didn't actually see the penalty flag here because it was right on that yellow circle, so it blended in right there, that circle around that feather.
So, offsetting penalties. We'll redo 3rd down and 16, and the officials now talking. They are confirming that it is 3rd down, apparently. The ball at the 34. Again, they got to get it to the 18 for a 1st down. Roseburg's defense trying to get off the field, although this could be 4-down territory for Grants Pass. Coyle fakes a handoff, play action, hit as he throws. He gets it to Lopez again on the short route. Blockers coming, penalty flag out. Diaz will take him down. It's near that 1st down marker. It would actually be a yard shy, but the penalty flag's back at the 29. Probably going to bring this play back again, and it's Valadez who he shirks away from the official, knowing that penalty, I think, is against him.
Yeah, it's going to be a hold there on Valdez against Isaiah Moore. He was holding Isaiah Moore there. So now it's still going to be a repeat of 3rd down.
So they'll count it off from the 29 back to the 39. So that's another Grants Pass penalty.
Now, if Roseburg can get a stop right now, this would not necessarily be a 4-down down here. They would have to punt. I would think that Grants Pass would have to punt at this field position here.
It was 5 yards through the air officially before the penalty. Lopez picking up there. So the ball at the 39. They've got to get it to the 18. Coyle, some pressure coming from the right side. He steps up, he fires, and it's incomplete. And this one looks to be without a penalty. Intended for Valadez, trying to get some redemption. And now, like you said, Josh, this went from a possible 4-down territory. They bring the punt unit out, and Roseburg might get a stop on their first possession of the second half.
And that was a huge stop by Bryant right there, number 3 for Roseburg. He got to the receiver right as the ball got there, and he helped break that ball up.
29 attempts already in the passing game for Chase Coyle. He is setting up to have a really big night passing. Kick away from the punter, Medley, angled to the sideline, and not a bad punt as he'll trap Roseburg deep inside the 15. They punt it out to the 13, but Roseburg's defense comes up with a stop. 8:16 to play here in the 3rd quarter. Quite a bit of time ran off the clock by Grants Pass, but all they result in is a punt.
Yeah, and right there, like you said, a lot of time ran off the clock right there. And there was a news review article earlier this week where Heiberger said you can't allow in this conference a whole lot of time to be ran off the clock. You need to score, and you need to score somewhat quickly.
Well, the Tribe will come out trying to cut this down to a 1-score game. They trail by 9, 23-14, 8:16 to go in the 3rd quarter. Warmoth in shotgun, Gillespie to his right, looking to pass right side. They find the man in the open spot of the zone, trying to bounce off a tackle and going backwards a little bit, but they're giving him the forward progression out to the 18-yard line. Peyton Bryant will pick up about 5 on that 1st down reception.
And right now, Peyton Bryant's having a huge game. There's something going on with his face mask or helmet or something like that. So he's going to have to come off the field.
He does take off the helmet. It's an equipment issue.
You know, he's got a cut eye, it looks like. He's got blood running down his face.
So he'll go and see Julie Deaver. He's pretty pumped up about it, having blood on his face. They bring in Merhowie Lake as a replacement receiver this season. Lake in the passing game, 3 catches for 28 yards. And actually, I think I say that, and then it looks like they ended up putting in Isaiah Moore instead. They're trying to send, I thought they were trying to move a receiver to the right side. Instead, they'll set up with trips to the left. Adams, the wideout, handed off to Gillespie, running right side. He just tries to make something. He did not see any lanes developing, so he just cut it upfield and runs right into the white jerseys. He'll get it close to the 20-yard line, and Roseburg will face 3rd down and 3.
And Bryant there, he's on the sideline even looking at the crowd with his fist up. Pretty excited about that cut on his eye.
3rd down and 3 for Roseburg. They need a conversion here. Try and keep this drive moving. Clock ticking down to about 7 minutes to play 3rd quarter. 23-14 your score. Lake does check in as the slot receiver to the left of the formation. He'll move in motion. Fake the handoff to him. They give it to Gillespie, running right side. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. It almost developed for him, but he just couldn't get to the edge in time. In fact, he loses a yard back to the 19.
With that being about 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3, I do not like that call right there. I think Roseburg should have. That right there would have been perfect time for that inside screen. And we have not seen that in almost 2 weeks now.
Oh, the unfortunate thing is the guy they ran that most to was Peyton Bryant. And he was on the sideline with the blood issue. Roseburg will send the punt unit out. Could be a quick 3 and out for him here. Warmoth in back to kick. He'll take it at the 12. He does get a boot behind it. Angled to the sideline. Stays in bounds. Gets a Roseburg bounce inside the 40. Tapped back in bounds, but not by much. And now one of the guys out there, that's Diaz, came up limping a little bit. Nobody around him, might have just kind of tweaked his leg a little bit. But a punt away. And Warmoth will flip the field. Onto the other side of the field will go Grant's Pass. So the defense came up with a stop, and at least Roseburg's able to send Grant's Pass back into its own territory with 6:04 to go in the third quarter.
And it would be kind of nice right now if Roseburg's defense could hold Grant's Pass to a 3 and out, not a 8 plays and out or 6 plays and out, but a 3 and out right now is what Roseburg's defense really needs to do.
Coyle will lead the offense back out for Grant's Pass. He'll turn and hand it to Henricks. He breaks it free on the left side of the line, and he'll move the chains, carrying that one about 11 yards on first down. He found a small seam and got into the secondary and then just used his speed to burst deep into the secondary for Roseburg and carry a few defenders.
So number 77, Logan Vineyard for Grant's Pass did a great job at just barely touching his first block and then coming up and grabbing Mandera. So Mandera was out of the picture right there, opened up that hole.
Looking to pass, Coyle, a pump fake. He's got a man wide open. It's Blaine Hobbs. He's at the 20, the 10, 5, touchdown. Roseburg's defense bit on the pump fake, and that one strikes quick. A big touchdown for the Cavemen, and they'll take a 29-14 lead.
And like you said, that was a miscommunication. They did bite on that pump fake, and that was Doran Gillespie, number 34 for Roseburg. That was his guy. He jumped it, acted like it was going to be thrown, and then all of a sudden his receiver was behind him, and there was nothing Roseburg could have done.
Grant's Pass from their 49, a 51-yard touchdown pass. And now out for the PAT is Pendleton, and he'll put it through. That makes it 30-14. Grant's Pass in front. 5:41 to go, third quarter. Quick strike offense for Grant's Pass, and there is a penalty flag out on the field before we take a break.
It was a white hat that threw it looking at Grant's Pass, so I think it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct on Grant's Pass's side after the kick.
Wait for the call here, but it does look like I think that's what's going to be the call. We'll go ahead and figure that out when we come back. A quick 30-second break. I'll be back with more of the action for you here on 1490 The Score.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
5:41 to go in the third quarter. Tonight's football game brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County, and by our friends at DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone's welcome to shop. So Grant's Pass will back up and kick this one off from the 20-yard line. It was an unsportsmanlike penalty after the PAT.
It's going to be the 25-yard line they're kicking it from.
Okay, 25. So 15-yard penalty backs him up to the 25 to kick this one away on the unsportsmanlike penalty after the PAT. So Grant's Pass deep. They kick this one off. Bounces to the 30. That's taken there by Stoner. And Ethan Stoner gets it out across the 45. Set him up at the 48-yard line. Good field position for Roseburg as they try to get a score on the board for the first time in the second half. 5:36 to play. They trail by 16.
And it was number 12, Jerry Watts, that came up from behind to tackle Ethan Stoner there on that kick return.
Jerry Watts on the roster. I was told he is J.J. Watts is what he goes by, not J.J. Watt, but J.J. Watts. I saw that, and I thought that was interesting. Third quarter action, 5:36 to go. Colin Warmoth and the Roseburg offense head back out there. Adams and Herskovitz spread out to the left side, Bear to the right. And Warmoth looking to the sideline, wanting some help on the offensive call. They need an extra guy out there. And Roseburg's got to burn a timeout because I don't think they had enough guys on the field. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 guys on the field. And Roseburg takes their first time out of the second half because the offense not prepared.
Well, they were expecting Bryant to be out there, and Bryant was waiting to be told to go out there. So Merhowie Lake was trying to figure out if he was going out. Just a big miscommunication with that injury to Bryant's eye, that last offensive series. It kind of messed things up just a bit, but they're getting it taken care of right now.
I do see on the sideline over there somebody wearing a hoodie with the number 26 on the back, and I believe that is Jaron Imtaj, and it looks like he has got maybe an arm in a sling, or he is just favoring it a little bit. No, he doesn't have it in a sling, but it kind of looked like he was favoring it a little bit. He does not have pads on. He's got his pads off, but his pants still on. His pant pad, his lower half is still padded. I wanted to say he's walking around in his underwear or something, but it looks like his day's done, which is tough. The Imtaj, a senior, missed almost all of last year with an injury and goes out in the second quarter of this one with an injury. Roseburg has the offense set. They hand it off to Gage Hill. He'll get knocked down running left side out to the 49, picking up 1 yard on first down for the Indians.
And right now, Roseburg, I'd like to see them bring in a tight end, give an extra big guy blocker up front there, and then try to get a couple passes down deep, try to blow this thing open a little bit.
Second down and 9. Ball near the right hash mark. Roseburg has to get it to the Grants Pass 42. Cut blocks everywhere. They get it to Adams on the screen. It opens up. A race to the sideline. His speed will get him out in front. He's at the 20, the 5, and he is just down short of the end zone.
Yep, he's going to be
just
down on the 1. Wow.
D'Angelo Adams almost races away from everyone. Wait a second. Merhowie Lake's headed out there. So is Zach Mandera. I think they expected it to be a PAT, and they call him down at the 1 yard line. A 50-yard pass completion to D'Angelo Adams.
And that was number 11, Corbin Lopez for Grants Pass, that was able to track him down and tackle him from behind.
They'll go with the quarterback keeper up the middle. Colin Warmoth punches it in, and Roseburg, they get the response they needed. Back within 10, pending the extra point, as Merhowie Lake now will head out there to try and kick it through the uprights.
And that was a really, really good, fast play by Roseburg. They didn't have the ball very long. They were able to get a touchdown real quick, and that's exactly what they needed. Now they need to hold Grants Pass again really quick, 3 and out, and try to do this again.
So the pass completion, 50 yards through the air to D'Angelo Adams. Second big completion to him tonight. That sets up the 1 yard keeper for Warmoth, who will be the holder. Snap down, kick is away, and it's good. So Roseburg back within 9, 30-21 with 4:51 to go in the third quarter. Quick strike offense. Indians back on the board. Back after the 30-second break here on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Third quarter for us here from Finlay Field. Mentioned earlier that Roseburg's been outscored by 28 points in the third quarter this season. They did exactly what they needed to here tonight. After giving up a touchdown to Grants Pass, they come back and even up the third quarter tally. Both teams with 7 points on the board. It's back to a 9-point game. Howie Lake to kick it away. Gets a short kick on it. Roseburg goes with a onside kick, and it goes right to one of the upmen. Receiving the football is Scott Kelly, and the senior falls on it at the 46. If that one bounces away unexpectedly for Grants Pass, Roseburg had enough guys there to probably take that one away.
Yeah, and I was looking at who was out there on the field, and one that helped out on getting him down on the ground was number 10, Garrett Zymet for Roseburg, and I don't think I remember seeing him on the kickoff team.
Might have been out there for the hands team trying to steal that one away. Roseburg's defense will head back out, though, as Grants Pass does recover. They start at their own 46, right hash mark for Coyle. They've got a diamond trips formation to the right. He'll pass to the left side, and it's off the hands of the intended receiver, Corbin Lopez. They had Blaine Hobbs set up for one of those wide receiver screens to the near side. He goes to the opposite side and incomplete.
And that triangle formation for Grants Pass, I was wondering if they were going to do what Boise did, had that triangle and then everybody dance and turn around in a circle and then try to take off.
The little pirouette we saw Boise State do against Oregon last year in the Las
Alamo
Vegas
Bowl.
Bowl?
It was Alamo Bowl, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. In the bowl game.
Oh, it was Las Vegas.
Hand off to Henricks. He'll run left side in the backfield. Finally makes a cut upfield. Follows some blockers. He'll have the first down, and he gets stopped right at the first down marker. And they'll give him 1 yard extra. It's going to be about 11-yard gain on the carry for Jake Henricks, who is taken over in the backfield. Henricks, a junior, 5'10", 175 pounds, and he'll move the chains on a carry out to the Roseburg 42.
So I was really impressed with the Roseburg's defense in the first half, not giving up that run game as much as they had been. I'm getting a little bit concerned because that run game's opening up a little bit for Grants Pass.
12 yards on the carry. Quick throw out to the far side to Hobbs. Dances around a few defenders. Spin move. Gets stood up. He'll pick up about a hard-earned 2 yards on that reception.
And he really had to earn that for sure. And that was one of those triangle formation type things for the receiver with one in front and two in back, right, real close to each other. And Roseburg did a really good job defending it.
So that's a 2-yard pickup for Hobbs. Over 300 yards passing tonight for Chase Coyle. He's definitely put up enough passing attempts, 32 tonight. He sets up in shotgun, looking to throw again, looking near side, the stop and go route. Warmouth, oh my goodness, and it's Clark that comes up with the catch as Warmouth connects with Isaiah Moore. It looked like Warmouth had an easy interception coming, but he hits his own teammate Moore down on the field, and somehow Clark comes away with a catch.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate right there because Warmouth was tracking that ball the entire way. Hey, and if he hadn't ran into Isaiah Moore, who was defending the receiver at the time, then he very well could have ended up with an interception right there.
Moore was in good coverage too, but Warmouth just had the opportunity to try and get there and steal that one away. But Moore is going to stay in the game.
No, he can't stay in the game.
I didn't think he could, but he's up walking around. And he's going to head to the sideline. He'll get checked out. Still got his helmet. Julie's still standing there talking to him. But he is up and walking around. That was a 24-yard completion to Clark, who's got 87 yards through the air receiving now. Down to the 16-yard line. Handed off. Henricks almost got tripped up in the backfield. That slows him down. He gets to the 15, falls forward to the 14, and it'll be a pickup of 2 on first down. Roseburg's defensive front getting pressure in the backfield and slowing him down, almost tripping him up, and then that really allowed the rest of the defense to get there.
Yes, exactly what you said, being able to slow him down, trip him up almost, allowing the rest of Roseburg's front to come in there to wrap him up and bring him down.
2 backs in the backfield, either side of the quarterback. The other back is Derek Seals, along with Henricks. Pressure coming, looking to pass. Oh, it's slant route caught. Peyton Bryant on the coverage cannot keep up with Randy Clark, and it's another passing touchdown tonight for Chase Coyle, this time from 14 yards out, and Grants Pass will extend its lead back out, leading 36-21 at the moment, pending the extra point.
And unfortunately on that one, Peyton Bryant was trying to jump the route and take that ball away, and he missed, which allowed his receiver behind him to be there to be able to catch that ball and get a Grants Pass touchdown.
This time from 14 yards out. Whistles will blow before the PAT. They'll just reset things and allow the kick to go. Second touchdown grab of the night for Randy Clark. Kick is up and away and good. And it'll make it 37 to 21. And Grants pass out in front with 3:01 to go in the third quarter. Back after a 30-second break. You're listening to Roseburg Football on 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Fourth touchdown pass of the night for Chase Coyle puts Grants pass in front by 16. It's a squib kick up the middle. It's taken by Stoner. He'll make his way to the left side of the field. Didn't have enough blockers out in front of him. Taken down at the 31-yard line. Roseburg with the football. 2:55 to go here in the third quarter. Roseburg football tonight brought to you by Good Vibration Solutions for home theater and automotive audio. You can feel it at Good Vibes. Offense back out on the field. 3 scores so far here in the third quarter total. Roseburg trying to answer back on the quick strike by Grants pass. That one actually took him only a minute 50 to score on that last one. And Roseburg almost had him stopped on a couple of times. Handoff, Gillespie running right side, going hard. Gets into the linebackers. He'll pick up 4 on the first down carry.
And that's a good 4-yard pickup there. If you can get that every time, that's a good run right there. That's one of the best runs we've seen so far by this Roseburg offense.
Second down and about 6 to go for Roseburg. 2:30 and counting. Handed off again to Gillespie, running right side. He is not able to get free. The defense, their offensive front, does not open up a hole. In fact, right up along that front line, big boy in the middle, Aaron Weigel, 5'10", 261. He plugged that hole pretty well.
Well, and that offense, they're running an option, but they're running it really slowly. So that defensive ends are being able to come out. They're waiting still to see who has the ball and then crashing down on the ball carry.
We haven't seen Warmoth keep it on that option in a little while. He's had some big runs with that. Fakes a handoff, play action, looking to pass. Comeback route, caught, and down for a first down. That's going to be Bear, who moves the chains, and Roseburg will have a fresh set. Very smart football there for the Roseburg Indians.
Very smart football there, and really liked how Warmoth was looking around the field until he found that Bear was open and was able to get the ball to him.
Needed 6. He got 8. Bear, his first catch of the night, moves the chains out to the 43. Roseburg 1st and 10 from the right hash mark. Shotgun snap to Warmoth, hands it off. Gillespie running left side this time, and just nothing opening up along that front line for the Roseburg Indians. Ball out to the 49, a pickup of, out to the 44, and it's a pickup of 1. Tough night sledding for Doran Gillespie. 13 carries total, 25 yards. One of his lowest nights. Roseburg will look to other areas to try and pick up the load here. Fake the handoff. Warmoth's going to try and run it. The option this time doesn't work out. He just gets back to the line of scrimmage. Loses about half a yard on that one, and Roseburg will now face 3rd down and long.
Well, and last year, Doran Gillespie had a rough night, too. He had 18 carries for only 40 yards the entire time. So this Grants Pass defense is really good against the run when it comes to playing Roseburg.
Roseburg will have trips to the right. Herskovitz, Bryant, and Bear out there. Adams spread out to the left side. They'll move Herskovitz in motion. Play action. Go on the slant route. It's caught by Bryant, but it's short of the first down. I had him out to the 49. The officials will see the 50. And so the ball will be right at midfield. Roseburg 3 yards shy of the first down marker.
And right now, I think this is probably 4-down territory for Roseburg. There's no other way to go about it. You're down 37-21. They're going to take it all the way, I think, maybe to the fourth quarter, though.
Yeah, we are almost seconds to the fourth quarter here. They will let it count down. 5 and running at the end of 3. It's going to be Grants Pass in front by 15. Make it 16. 37-21, our score. We head to the fourth quarter after this 60-second break. Grants Pass in front of Roseburg on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Abby's Legendary Pizza, Travel Leaders Flyaway Travel, I-5 RV, Mahalo Heating and Air Conditioning, and Pepsi Bigfoot Beverages of Roseburg.
Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Swimming season is finally here, but remember, respect the water. Don't swim and don't go in the water if it's under 60 degrees. Swimming in water under 60 degrees is life-threatening. It could cause hypothermia, which means your limbs paralyzed and you can't get out of the water. Each day, the water temperature of the Umpqua River will be posted on kpic.com and kval.com, and in the morning weather on KPIC. Respect the water. Know the temperature. Brought to you by the Respect the Water Safety Committee.
We start the fourth quarter, 12 minutes up on the board. Roseburg will come out. They've got themselves a 4th down and 3, and it looks like the offense will stay on the field. The ball at the 50-yard line, and they need to get across into Grants Pass territory to keep their drive going to start the fourth quarter. They trail 37-21, and penalty flag out. It looks like it's a false start on Roseburg, I believe.
It's going to be Colt Bear on this side of wide receiver here.
Yeah, he was the one that jumps here on the near side. A penalty for Roseburg. They haven't had too many, but that one,
and the
not good timing.
No, the punt team is coming out on the field now because of it.
So that'll change the way they go about things. The ball backed up to the 45. Roseburg's half of the field, and they will send the punt unit out. Warmouth will be back at his own 32. Peyton Bryan will spread out to the far side of the field. Snap back. Warmouth looking to pass. That ball knocked around and almost intercepted, but it'll fall incomplete. And Roseburg on the trick play tries to convert 4th down and long, and they're unable to do so.
He was trying to force it in there to number 42, Carson Ellis, allow that big man to try to get some yardage for Roseburg.
So Grants Pass will take over at the Roseburg 45 on the turnover on downs. Just didn't really quite develop for Roseburg on that fake punt, and I think Grants Pass was very much ready for it.
Oh, and Carson Ellis was open for just a second, but it closed in really fast.
Offense comes back out for Grants Pass. They could probably start putting some nails in the coffin if they could score quickly here. 45 yards to go. Roseburg bringing the house. Handoff up the middle. Hendricks not able to escape. Roseburg trying to rip the ball out. They're not blowing this one dead. Finally they will. It's Mandera, Rourke Martin in there, and in there along on the front line, Thomas Ruth helping out as well. Roseburg stuffing the run game there for Grants Pass.
And Mandera was just not going to allow him to get through as he was trying to rip the ball away from him at the same time.
Hendricks loses 2 on the carry. Martin, the middle linebacker, up at the line, bouncing around in the different gaps there, and now they'll have Grants Pass looking to the sideline for the play call here. They're letting the clock tick. The clock's in their favor right now, leading 37-21. Coyle will call for the shotgun snap, pass coming. He'll get flushed out. Reaching for him. Martin will bring him down in the backfield, and Rourke Martin comes up with a big sack, dropping Chase Coyle back into Grants Pass territory.
That was a huge sack right there for Roseburg, dropping him way, way back. But like you said, Grants Pass is in no hurry to snap the ball. They're going to take every second they can before they snap this ball.
9 yards lost for Chase Coyle. on the sack. The ball back to the Grants Pass 43. I make it to 44. Third down and extremely long. Coyle looking to pass. He gets hit. No flag out, and it's incomplete. Coyle gets up on his knees. He looks around wondering, where's the late hit flag? He doesn't get it, and it's 4th down and long, and that is a 3-and-out that Roseburg desperately needed.
And that takes a lot of patience there by the referee not to throw that flag, to really look at the play and see that it was pretty much a pretty well bang-bang play. The ball was released, and Mandera was right there to hit the quarterback.
So 4th down, punt unit comes out, ball at the 44. Grants Pass half of the field. Andrew Medley is there to kick. You've got Bear deep to return for Roseburg. They could use a good one. Kick is away, and it's angled to the sideline. Isaiah Moore needs to get out of the way. So does Diaz. At this point in time, you don't want to be around the football. Let it fall, and it will come to a rest at about the 27-yard line. Roseburg will have the football after a quick 3-and-out.
Yeah, right there, I don't quite understand what Isaiah Moore was doing. He was reaching back as he was being blocked away from the ball, so I'm not quite sure why he was trying to touch the ball at all. Right at that point, as you're getting blocked away, you try to stay away from that football.
Yeah, not a smart idea to try and get a hand on it there. He's not in any position to try and field it, but all he has to do is touch it, and it's a live football. And the Cavemen could have stolen it away. Handoff on the end around. It's Adams trying to weave through traffic. He gets around. He's got some speed to get in open field, and he's across the 50. D'Angelo Adams, when they can get the ball in his hands with some blockers in front of him, that young man has the speed to make any sort of play a possible touchdown run.
He's a really, really fast player right there. It was number 2, Keenan Alderson for Grants Pass, that was able to get his hands on his ankles to trip him up and bring him down.
They'll mark that one at the 46, Grants Pass territory. Adams a big run to set it up. That is a 37-yard run for Adams, his longest of the season. Looking to pass. They'll go quick route to Bear on the near sideline. One man. His stiff arm. He gets out of the tackle and out of bounds down to the 34-yard line. It's a pass play to move the chains on 1st down.
It was almost like a swim move right there for Bear. He sits there and hits the receiver or the defender with his hand that doesn't carry the ball and kind of ducks underneath to get around him to pick up that extra 2 or 3 yards that he got.
12 yards on the pickup for Bear. Moves the chains, the ball down to the 34-yard line. Roseburg playing with some urgency here, down to 9:45 to go in the ball game. They trail 37-21. Warmouth calling out directions from the shotgun position. Fakes a handoff, looking to throw a quick route, and miscommunication. I think Cole Bear was looking for a stop-and-go route, and he might have had it, but miscommunication. Warmouth throwing short and incomplete.
Yeah, it was a complete miscommunication right there. Colbert was trying to go deep on a streak. He wasn't looking back at all, and Warmouth just let that ball go to a spot on the field and not necessarily to where the receiver went.
34-yard line, 2nd down and 10. Clock stopped on the incompletion with 9:42 to go. Bryant moving in motion, looking to pass. I don't know how he worked it through that window, but Colin Warmouth finds his receiver, Eddie Herskovitz, and it's about a 9-yard completion, make it 8 on that pass play.
And what happened right there is he did that. He put Bryant in motion, and then he faked it to Bryant, and that defense jumped for just a second, acting like Bryant had that ball, allowing him to get that ball to Herskovitz.
8-yard completion to Herskovitz. Gage Hill is the running back to the left of Warmouth. Trips to the left side of the formation. Almost down to 9 minutes to go in the ball game. Fake the handoff. Warmouth going to be a keeper. He slips through one tackle. Spin move. He's got the first down as he dives for the 20. He's going to come up short of the 20, but he does have the first down to the 21.
And right there, Warmouth's doing his best impression of Drew Brees this last week, trying to do that spin move, and Drew Brees ended up getting a touchdown out of it, but it looked pretty good right there.
Little bit away from the end zone on that one for Colin Warmouth, but it does move the chains. 1st and 10 from the 21. Roseburg needing a score here. 8:51 and counting. Quick pass. Back to Bear. Needs a blocker. He's got Herskovitz in front of him. He'll follow him a bit. Moves it down inside the red zone to the 17.
And Herskovitz did a great job at that block right there. Allowed a couple more yards right there for Bear to pick up. And Bear did a great job waiting for Herskovitz to pick up that block.
Colin Warmouth having one of his better nights passing tonight. He has gone over 200 yards this season, but he's at 146 here tonight. Adding to his total, he'll be up over 600 yards on the season after tonight's ball game. Almost down to 8 minutes to go here in the contest. Roseburg down by 16. Ball at the 17-yard line, running right side, trying to just carry a tackler. Ball down to the 16-yard line, and Roseburg's going to have third down, and they've got about 4 yards to try and pick up.
And they're going to have to come up with some sort of play here. They don't have a whole lot of real estate. Working with inside that 20-yard line, they're going to have to be a little bit trickery here to be able to outsmart this Grants Pass defense.
They've got 5 yards to try and pick up. Adams and Herskovitz spread to the left. Bryant and Baird to the right. Hill in the backfield along with Warmouth looking to convert on 3rd and 5. They try to set up the screen. It's to Bryant. He's got to get upfield, and he goes backwards to the line of scrimmage. He only had about 2 yards of positive gain, tried to bubble back around and get around a defender, and he gets dropped for a 1-yard loss.
And that was that inside screen that we have not seen last week. First time we've seen it this week. And he needed to find some way to turn that upfield. Instead, he was dancing around too long, trying to go east and west instead of north and south.
Roseburg's offense stays on the field, 4th down and 6, down to 7 minutes to play. They trail by 16. Adams moves in motion, fake the handoff to him. Go to Bryant in the end zone, wide open, touchdown! Roseburg gets on the board with 6:52 to go here in the 4th quarter.
And that was a fake right there to D'Angelo Adams. He was coming around, acted faking it, and that brought the Grants Pass defense biting on Adams, allowing Bryant to get behind all the defenders and just pretty much stand there in the end zone saying, hey, the ball's right here, throw it to me.
I almost wondered if it was going to take too long for Warmouth to find him. He was so wide open. But the defense was collapsing around Colin Warmouth, and I was worried he wasn't going to have enough time to get it away. Extra point, Roseburg's going for 2. They're down by 10. If they can get 2, they make it an 8-point game, and Roseburg would have a 1-possession contest. Warmouth will move Herskovitz in motion, fake the handoff to him, rolling to his right now, pressure coming, he's wide open in the end zone, Bryant, 2-point conversion is good, and Roseburg's back within 8 as they have a chance here in the 4th quarter. 37-29 our score with 6:52 to play.
And it's huge. Bryant's having a huge night tonight. That's already, I believe, his 2nd touchdown, and then now his 2-point conversion?
Yeah. And he's got an interception.
And an interception. He's having a tremendous night.
6:52 to go. Even if Roseburg can't get the ball right away, if they can get a quick 3 and out by the defense, Roseburg may just have enough time left in this ball game to try and get one more score and have a chance to try and tie it up in regulation.
And I'm not sure, but it looks like the people on the kickoff team again are going to be the hands team for Roseburg.
Do you like that decision with 6:52 to go? It puts the ball at midfield. Grants Pass has the downfield strikes to be able to move the ball quickly and get into the red zone.
I think it's a gamble, but I think right now anything that you do is going to be a gamble because Grants Pass, whether they're on the 20-yard line or they're on the 50, they have the potential to be a one-strike offense.
They'll send the kick unit out there. Marhowie Lake will be out there kicking it away. 6:52 to play. It's a 1-possession game. Roseburg trying to keep Grants Pass on their toes here tonight at Finlay. They do kick it deep. No one back there to return it. It'll die at the 6. This ball rolling back towards Roseburg. It's on the ground. The ball is loose. Who's got it? Roseburg says they have it. They'll undig the pile. Roseburg football!
It was number 4, Josh Mendoza, that came up with the football right there.
The kick deep, and it bounces away from Grants Pass's return team, and Roseburg comes away with the ball. They'll have a short field to work with and needing to get to the end zone and a 2-point conversion to tie this one up.
And Roseburg, right there, Grants Pass thought the ball was going to bounce into the end zone. They were just going to let it go, and it instead of bouncing backwards, it bounced forward, almost 6 yards?
It bounces back out to the 13 where Roseburg will have it. They'll set up here. Warmouth in shotgun offense back out on the field in a timeout. Wait, no, they've just got to get the
kicking tee.
The kicking tee, I believe, is what it is. And usually they've got somebody to go out and do that, an assistant, a ball boy, something like that. It'll be head coach Dave Heiberger out there to go get that football.
And I think Heiberger made a point to do that just to settle his guys down for a second to be able to get this offensive play off.
They do have to calm themselves down. A lot of emotions going here. You got to be smart. A turnover could pretty much be a killer at this point in time. Roseburg trying to stay undefeated on the new turf field here at Finlay. They need 8 points to tie this one up in regulation. Warmouth in shotgun, Hill to his left. They hand it off. No, keeper for Warmouth, and he is taken down, a loss, back to the 15.
And unfortunately, he read that one wrong. He tried to bounce it outside of his blocker. If he would have cut it inside of his blocker had better leverage against that grand pass defender. He probably would have picked up a couple yards.
Second down and 13 now for Roseburg. Clock ticking. 6:23 to go. Warmouth moves Adams in motion. They give it to him. He gets around the edge. He's met at the 10, and he's taken out of bounds there. He'll pick up about 5, but it's going to be third down. And Roseburg can get a first down at the 2, but they are really looking for the end zone here.
Really smart play right there by Bryant. He was holding his receiver just for a second and was able to let it go, realizing his defender was going to get around him.
The ball went out at the 9-yard line. They've got to get it down to the 2. 7 yards to pick up for Roseburg. 3rd and 7. Herskovitz in motion. Fake the handoff to him. On the slant route, in and out of the hands for Bryant. He had it in there for a moment, couldn't hold on. Bryant still down on the turf. And it'll be 4th down and 7 for Roseburg after the injury timeout.
And that's very unfortunate for a night that Bryant's having. He just took his helmet off right now. He's acting like he's in quite a bit of pain.
He did have the cut over his eye earlier. I don't know if that's going to be what this is. They are looking at his leg, it looks like. Rolling up some compression shorts he's wearing underneath, but they're looking at his left knee, and that's never a good sign.
And Cole Bear's bringing his helmet back to the sideline right now.
We'll wish the best here for Peyton Bryant. He has been a big part of this Roseburg offense. He's got the multiple touchdowns tonight. He has 8 catches, 2 touchdowns, 59 yards total. Came in tonight with a touchdown, and I think he's the leading receiver coming into tonight with 193 yards total. And so he has been a big target for Colin Warmouth, and the loss of him here late in this game when Roseburg's trying to make the comeback, this could be big.
It would be a huge blow to Roseburg's offense right now. And right now, we've only got 6 minutes and 11 seconds left in the fourth. It is 4th down. Right now, do you kick the field goal? I would almost kick the field goal. You're down 5 points. Try to get a quick 3 and out, and then try to go for the win with the touchdown.
A field goal here. You've got decent field position. It's easier than having to try and attempt a super long field goal later, but you either need a touchdown and a 2-point conversion to tie it, or a field goal and then a touchdown to try and win it. So.
And Bryant's coming off the field right now. He's not putting any weight down on his left leg.
Not a good sign for Peyton Bryant. He has been a big part of the offense and defense and special teams. And he will head right to the trainer's table for Roseburg. They are going to try a field goal. It's from the right hash mark, 26 yards out from Merhowie Lake. Placement down, the kick is up, and it's good. And Merhowie Lake gets his first field goal of the season. Last year he was 3 for 6. His longest was from 30 yards out. He's 1 for 2 now this season as he hits one from 26 yards out. And Roseburg will draw back within 5 points, trailing 37-32. Keep it right here in the fourth quarter. 6:06 to play. So they did go with the field goal. We didn't really get a chance to talk about it. They went with it quick, they had probably been setting up, waiting for it once the injury timeout was done, and they wanted to make sure that Grants Pass didn't get much of a push on that front line, I think, and they kind of went quick with the field goal there. But we didn't get much time to talk about it, Josh. Do you think the right decision there? Do you think it is the smart decision?
Yeah, I think that's a very smart decision right there. And so now Grants Pass is setting up kind of in the same formation, expecting an onside kick. And Roseburg, if I was them, I'd kick that deep again and see if you can't get Grants Pass to mess up for a second time in a row.
6:06 to go. Roseburg will kick it away. We'll see how the offense performs, or how the kick return team performs this time for Grants Pass. Wild finish going on here tonight. And credit to Roseburg. They could have, early on in the third quarter, let this one slip away. They were down 16, and they fought their way back. This one, a kick to the 23, picked up by Hobbs. Rourke Martin will knock him out of bounds. And a penalty flag late.
Yep, that one right there is because Rourke Martin led with his helmet on that hit there. His crown of his helmet did hit the player, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be what the call is. It's going to be against Roseburg.
Coach Heiberger obviously not going to be happy, and they do wave off the flag.
Wow.
So the ball will go out at the 36-yard line on the return by Blaine Hobbs, and Grants Pass's offense will come back out on the field. They lead by 5, 6:03 to go. A touchdown could possibly seal it. A long drive to wear off the clock could possibly finish this one out. Chase Coyle and shotgun, two backs to either side of him. They are missing their starting running back, Jaron Emtaj, and up the middle, it's Henricks on the run. He's into Roseburg territory. He breaks free for a huge gain. It'll stop the clock momentarily, but a huge pickup on first down into Roseburg's 43-yard line.
And what happened there is Mandera's playing middle linebacker, and they could see the blitz, and Mandera was showing it in the opposite A-gap. And so Grants Pass running back, he just waited, and they opened up that other A-gap, allowing for a huge lane for him to pick up that many yards.
Derek Seals to the left of Chase, and it's Henricks to the right. They give it to Henricks on the delay, and he'll get swallowed up the middle. I believe Diaz wrapping him up for a short gain out to the 41, a pickup of 2.
And I expect Grants Pass now to take as much time as possible off the clock, allow this clock to run, and then snap it with just a few seconds left on the play clock. It does look like Bryant is getting his knee wrapped up. It's going to be his left knee with ice on the training table.
37-32, clock ticking down to about almost 5 minutes to go in the ball game. Second down and 8. Pressure coming. Coyle will step out of the blitz. He will scramble to the 30. He's on the sideline. He jukes out one. He's still on his feet, and he goes out inside the 5-yard line. And Grants Pass turns what almost was a sack into a huge run that could possibly set up a first and goal. It will. And it's a possibility for Grants Pass to put one in here, leading by 5.
And that's a huge miss right there. That was Zach Mandera that came right through the line, and he did get a hand on the quarterback, but it's a huge miss. He was trying to arm tackle instead of wrap up the quarterback and allowed him to get through, and there was nothing but green in front of the quarterback.
So Coyle will get a 36-yard run. He's going to get crunched in the backfield. 2 defenders on him. He'll lose 3 yards. Back, they put it to 7.5, loses about 2.5 yards.
And Roseburg needs to push this Grants Pass offense back right now. They need to make it, because even if they hold them, Grants Pass can get a field goal. They go up by 8. You're in the same predicament you were when this clock was at 6 minutes and some odd seconds.
37-32. 4:25 and counting. Second down and goal from the 7. Coyle dropping back, looking to pass, going to the post route, and it's overthrown. That one too far, intended for Corbin Lopez.
And right now, the major matchups, the receivers for Grants Pass, they are quite a bit taller than these defenders for Roseburg. And if this quarterback for Grants Pass would actually put these balls in, this score could be a heck of a lot different right now.
He's only a junior. He'll be back for a senior year next year. They moved him. They brought him in as a starting quarterback, replacing two-time all-conference selection Blaine Hobbs, who moves to wide receiver because they have faith in him as the future of the program at the quarterback position. He'll set up. It's third down and goal. A stop here for Roseburg could force the field goal, like you mentioned. 2 backs in the backfield. with Coyle. He'll move Hobbs in motion to the right. Looking quickly to the left. The slant route is good. Lopez in. Touchdown. Grants Pass. A quick score. 4:13 to go, but it could be a nail in the coffin for Roseburg tonight.
And I'm not quite sure what happened right there. Colbert was there as the defender against that receiver, and he just stood flat-footed on his feet and really didn't move, allowing that receiver to get right behind him, and he just watched as the receiver caught the ball, and it was a touchdown Grants Pass.
The touchdown will make it 43-32, and the PAT is good. 44-32, it's out to a 12-point game. Grants Pass in front. We'll take a quick break here on CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
Well, that was the drive that Grants Pass needed, and it was the drive that Roseburg was trying to avoid. A big quarterback scramble from Chase Coyle sets up first and goal, and then a couple of plays later he finds Corbin Lopez for a 7-yard touchdown strike. 5th touchdown pass of the night for Chase Coyle, and it looks like he may have just stuck the final nail in the coffin for Roseburg, but still 4:13 to go. Still plenty of time, but Roseburg's got no time to waste.
Yeah, Grants Pass did that really, really fast, and that may have been too fast for Grants Pass, to be honest, with 4:13 left on the clock.
Out there to kick it away is Pendleton. The right-footed kicker belts it deep. A line drive kick right to Merhowie Lake, who's filling in for Peyton Bryant up the middle. Couple of cuts. He'll lower the shoulder out to the 30-yard line. And that is where Roseburg will have the football. 70 yards to go, trying to get a score, but they need 2 in the final 4:06. Roseburg football tonight is brought to you by Mahalo Heating and Cooling, your best choice for the finest indoor comfort control. Call them today at 672-6707. And by I-5RV, visit I-5RV and find your new adventure for as low as 0% down and $149 a month. I-5RV in Sutherland. Offense back out there. Colin Warmoth leading the way. He has lost one of his big targets, Peyton Bryant, who's on the trainer's table, icing a knee. Trips to the right side. Lone target to the left is D'Angelo Adams. In the backfield, Doran Gillespie. Fake the handoff there. Pump fake once. Pressure coming. Warmoth throws it deep. He wanted to stop and go with D'Angelo Adams, and tight coverage by Randy Clark, knocking that one away.
And I'm really surprised right there. As the ball was on the in the air, D'Angelo Adams was trying to come back, and the Grants Pass defender was actually grabbing a hold of his jersey and keeping him from coming back.
Colin Warmoth almost reaching a career-high passing attempts in a ball game. He had 27 last year. He's up to 24 here tonight, and a timeout down on the field for the Roseburg Indians. Their second of the second half. Both teams with 1. We'll come back after a 30-second break and continue the fourth quarter here on 1490 The Score.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
Four minutes exactly on the clock here in this fourth quarter. Roseburg was within 5. They trail by 12. A 2-score ball game. Grants Pass in front, trying to go to 4-1 on the year. Roseburg trying to avoid going to 1-4. They have played this game really tight, and I think no matter what, it's a statement for this team to show that they can hang with the Southwest Conference teams. But an injury to Peyton Bryant could be a big one. They'll come out after the timeout. Second down and 10. 4 minutes on the game clock. Adams moves in motion. Fake the handoff to him. And Warmouth just runs right into the line of scrimmage. And he'll get taken down for a run and no gain. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for the Indians.
Yeah, he ran right into Sam Fierro from Grants Pass number 60. And he could have just come and stepped to his right. And he never looked to his right. There was a big old gap open here on his right-hand side.
They'll go quickly back to the line. 3.5 minutes to play. Herskovitz will trade spots with Lake. Bear is the wideout on the right side, looking to that right side. Herskovitz the catch. He was at the 40. He spins. He'll get back to the 39-yard line, and it'll move the chains. A huge grab for Eddie Herskovitz, as he was knowing he was going to take a punishment there, and he gets out to the 41 to move the chains.
Yeah, really, really good play right there. And Merhowie Lake actually was open right above him on top. He was coming over the middle. Nobody was there blocking him at all.
3 catches tonight for Herskovitz. He'll set up in the slot on the left side. Adams the wide out to that left side of the formation, wide side of the field. They are bracketing him out there. Warmouth in shotgun, looking downfield. He's got Bear going deep. He's going to tuck it and run. He makes a couple of guys miss and is into Grants Pass territory. Had a linebacker there waiting on his heels for him. And Warmouth able to juke around him, but gets tackled from behind, moves the chains down to the Grants Pass 44.
And Grants Pass only came with 4 rushers on that, which allowed that to open up on the middle, and everybody else was playing the receivers back.
15-yard pickup for Warmouth. Looks right, goes back to the left, hits it up with Adams, but he's taken down immediately. So Adams goes down, 1-yard gain on the play. Adams will move to the slot. They'll move Herskovitz as the wide out to the far side. Adams in motion. Fake the handoff to him. Looking downfield and hit as he throws. Warmouth, he had a guy on him and still had enough strength to get that pass away. And not necessarily a terrible pass, just short of the intended target. Incompletion stops the clock with 2:20 to play.
Yeah, really short of his intended target, and really lucky that it got to where it did, where there was no wide around it, because sometimes when you get wrapped up there and all that weight of the defenders on top of you, you tend to throw it up and somebody ends up intercepting the ball.
Clock has run a lot of time off. Roseburg facing 3rd and 9. They'll have to score quick and get the ball back quick. Play action going on the comeback route. It's caught by Barry, loses his defender. He needs some blockers. He'll get some help, and he's taken down at the 12-yard line. He had a glove on his hand, and the defender had a hold of it and ripped it off, but that allowed Bear to escape.
And it was a really, really good job right there. The offensive coordinator for Roseburg actually went out on the field and picked it up. He's got it now. But a really awesome play by Colbert to be able to pull away, knowing that the defender had his glove, and be able to catch that ball and still pick up a huge gain.
31 on the pass completion. Warmouth looking to throw. He'll go to the running back. Gillespie hit out at the 1-yard line.
Wow.
Good vision from Warmouth, and a great concentration by Gillespie, who leaked out of the backfield and was the last option for Colin Warmouth.
And it was perfect where Gillespie was at, because he was actually bobbling that ball all the way out of bounds and then somehow came up with it when he was out of bounds. So really good with keeping it away from where the line judge was at, to be able to see him actually bobbling that ball all the way out of bounds.
Gillespie, his first reception since, I believe, week 2. It sets up 1st and goal from the 1. Fake the handoff. Warmouth to the end zone. He's in with 1:47 to go in the ball game. And so the Indians still with a little bit of life.
And it looks, I would imagine right now you'd have to go for 2.
Well, they're down 6. So a 2-point conversion would make it a 4-point game.
Down go 5. No, you don't have to.
Yeah,
go for
you don't
2.
have to. It doesn't help you out any.
Get the kick in, and then you're going to have to onside kick now.
So the PAT for Merhowie Lake. Placement down. The kick is up, and it's good. And Roseburg keeping this one interesting. They're back within 5. 44-39. We'll take a 30-second break here on 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
Well, it very may well come down to the impending kickoff for Roseburg. Minute 47 to go. Roseburg with just one timeout left. Grants Pass can pretty much run down most of the clock here if they recover the onside kick or any kick. So we'll wait to see how it goes, but I got to imagine, Josh, that Roseburg's going with an onside kick attempt here.
They are going to go with an onside kick here. They've got their big guys in right now. Zach Mandera hasn't been in the last several kickoffs and stuff, and Stoner hasn't been in. They're there to hit somebody so that somebody can recover that ball.
For Howie Lake, the left-footed kicker will set up his onside kick attempt. It's up in the air. It's still a live ball, and Roseburg can't find it. It was a playable ball for the Indians, and they can't come up with it. The ball recovered by Grants Pass. J.J. Watts making the reception, and the ball down at the 47-yard line. Great kick by Merhowie Lake, and Roseburg had a chance.
Yeah, you couldn't ask for a better onside kick by Merhowie Lake on that one. The way it bounced and went up in the air over the Grants Pass guys. Only Roseburg should have been able to recover that ball, and they just could not see it.
It didn't seem like the guys that got there initially that were probably trying to block, all they needed to do was locate the ball. They just weren't looking for it. First down and 10, 1:44 to go. Roseburg needs a turnover and definitely some quick stops. Running the ball is Coyle, running to his right side, and Mandera will bring him down, a 1-yard gain, and Roseburg's going to call the timeout. So the Indians will burn their final timeout. We keep it right here. 1:38 to go. So you've got a minute 38 to go. It's going to be second down and 9, and really Grants Pass, they can pretty much start to wrap this one up. Taking a knee, you got to imagine that it's not going to take, they may have to punt it away with just seconds on the clock.
Yeah, I think that they would end up having to punt it away with, let's see, what is it, 40-second time between, what is it in high school, 40, 25?
I wish you hadn't asked me
or
that.
35.
I want to say it's 35.
It may only be 35.
It's probably something I should know.
35
so I'm
and 35, that's 70. So 60, 110.
You're looking at 98 seconds right there. 75 for 2 downs. So then 98 minus 75. That's
so yeah. They don't
seconds,
have to give it back to Roseburg at all.
They would have to punt it, right?
Well,
it's
punt it
down,
or just
so 2
run
kneel
around
downs.
in the back.
That is true. They could just run around and try and do their best to kill 23 seconds. But if you run it around and Roseburg gets to you and you get tackled in your own side of the field, that gives Roseburg a shot to the end zone.
Yeah.
So there is still enough time for Roseburg to have to force them to punt, but then it's Hail Mary time for the Indians. And they're not even going to just take a knee. They're going to hand it off, and Henricks has stood up, and Roseburg doing their best to try and rip the ball out, but they will not be able to do so, and the clock is stopped. Oh, Roseburg had another timeout. I had them down to 1 left, and they took another timeout, so that actually changes things quite a bit.
That changes things a lot, actually. So now Grants Pass needs to pick up because they can only give up 35 seconds. So that Roseburg's going to have probably about 45 seconds left on the clock to try to do something if they can get a stop here.
If they can get the stop. Now, got to imagine Grants Pass is not going to pass the ball here. They want to keep the clock running. So you imagine it's going to be another run. It hasn't worked out all that well on first and second down. They're probably talking about it there on what they plan to do here. Their passing game has been great. They could catch Roseburg expecting run and go with a pass and have a guy wide open. Go with an option type of play.
I wouldn't put it past Grants Pass to throw the ball around because that's what they've been doing today, and they've done it pretty successfully, really. So I wouldn't be surprised if they do try to pick up this first down, pass the ball.
Well, we'll find out after the last time out for Roseburg. They've used them all. Grants Pass still with 2. The ball is just out near midfield, 48-yard line. Grants Pass half of the field. A stop short of the first down here, and Roseburg would force him to punt and get the ball back with maybe 30 seconds left. And a penalty flag comes out. That's going to be on the near side of the line. Hunter Blix, I think, going to get called for jumping into the neutral zone.
Which,
or
if
maybe
they throw a penalty flag on Roseburg for this, they should have thrown one on Grants Pass earlier.
There is one on the far side of the field as well, but it is on Roseburg. So it's going to make a first down possibility a little bit easier for Grants Pass. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Tough time to get a penalty if there for Roseburg's defense.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily agree with that penalty there because we watched Grants Pass do that earlier in the second quarter, and no penalty flag was thrown when 3 of their defensive line guys jumped into the neutral zone.
3rd down and 4. Up to the line comes Chase Coyle and the Grants Pass offense. Trips to his right side, all bunched. He is looking to pass. Pump fake once, looking to go downfield. Has a man wide open, and it's caught. And we said we wouldn't put it past them, and Grants Pass moves the chains, and that just might wrap this one up.
That will seal the deal right there for Grants Pass.
Valiant effort from Roseburg tonight, but it doesn't look like it's going to pay off. 12 yards through the air for Chase Coyle. Continues his air assault against Roseburg.
And he's in victory formation now, so.
377 yards through the air for Chase Coyle and 5 touchdowns tonight. 44-39 our score. Clock is ticking down, and Grants Pass is waiting to take a knee. They're waiting about as long as they can, and stepping back and taking a knee will be Chase Coyle. 55 seconds to go. It's going to take one more kneel down, and that will wrap this one up. Well, one heck of an effort from this Roseburg Indians team to stay in this one and fight tooth and nail to try and make this happen. And they just fall a little bit short. Needed one more stop to give themselves a chance. Final kneel down coming here for Grants Pass. And that will do it. Teams will head out to midfield to shake hands. This one will go final. Still about 15 seconds left on the clock, but Roseburg fans, I feel for you tonight. They gave us everything to hope for. It is nice to see them playing competitive football. This game a year ago, Roseburg lost in that one 30-7. Tonight, they fall just shy, losing 44-39. Final score, and Grants Pass will move to 4-1 on the year. Roseburg falls to 1-4. Coming up next week, Roseburg will have another tough one when they are on the road at South Medford as Southwest Conference play continues. Grants Pass, meanwhile, next week for them, they're at home against North Medford. We'll have plenty more to discuss for you when we head to the postgame show. It's your Roseburg Disposal postgame show coming up next. This has been Roseburg Football on CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You're watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Wrapping things up here tonight from Roseburg High School in Finlay Field. Final score, Grants Pass 44, Roseburg 39. We welcome you in to the Roseburg Disposal post-game show. It was a wild one tonight between Roseburg and Grants Pass. The Cavemen had a pretty nice performance tonight. They were leading, they led all the way. But Roseburg, give them plenty of credit as they do not give way and fight their way back, getting within 5 points late in this contest. And then a late score by Roseburg gives us our final tally. And again, a 5-point game, 44-39. They had it within 5 a couple of different moments in the second half and just could not get the stop they needed to get the ball back and give the offense a chance to try and score that game-winning touchdown. Let's go ahead and take a look at a drive recap here tonight as we bring you the action here in the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Roseburg Disposal, 673-7122. Well, it's 23-14 at the end of the first half. In the second half, Grants Pass came out and scored first, took a 30-14 lead, and at that point, up by 16, you thought, well, maybe Grants Pass is going to start to pull away in this one like we've seen other teams do against Roseburg this season. But Roseburg not done. They would get a score on the next possession and get it back to a 9-point game, trailing 30-21 on a 1-yard touchdown run by Colin Warmoth. Grants Pass would score again, though, before the third quarter clock comes to an end. It was Chase Coyle finding Randy Clark from 14 yards out. The kick was good, and it made it 37-21 as we went to the fourth quarter. Roseburg would score first in the fourth quarter. It was Colin Warmoth finding Peyton Bryant for a 17-yard touchdown grab. Bryant would also make the reception on a 2-point conversion. Made it 37-29, 6:52 to go in the ball game. Roseburg would also get the ball back then on an onside kick. Well, actually, it wasn't an onside kick. They kicked it deep, but the ball bouncing away from the return team for Grants Pass, giving Roseburg an opportunity with a short field. They couldn't get a touchdown, but they do get a 26-yard field goal from Merhowie Lake. Made it 37-32, Roseburg getting within 5 there. They needed a stop on the next drive, but Grants Pass able to work their way downfield. A long scramble from Chase Coyle sets up first and goal, and then 3 plays later, he connects with Corbin Lopez from 7 yards out to make it 44-32. It seemed like with 4:13 to go, Roseburg chances may have missed them, but they would drive down the field quickly. A 9-play drive ended up moving 70 yards downfield. Unfortunately, took a little bit too much time, and Roseburg would get a 1-yard touchdown run from Colin Warmoth. Made it 44-39 on the extra point by Merhowie Lake. A 5-point game again, but on a third down attempt, Grants Pass able to pick up 12 yards, move the chains, and then all they needed were a couple more kneel downs to wind out the clock. And Grants Pass survives, winning 44-39, and Roseburg will fall to 1-4 on the season. And for Grants Pass, they go to 4-1. We'll take another break here in the postgame show. When we come back, we'll look at stats and we'll get some thoughts on this one here tonight. Also, check our local scoreboard as well. It's the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Back after this 2-minute break here on 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercuts, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business.
Back in the Roseburg Disposal post-game show. Tough one tonight for Roseburg fans. Grants Pass will be making the trip back home. Pretty happy that they were able to survive a scare here at Finlay Field. The Indians, a valiant effort to try and come back and to get a victory here at home, but they cannot overcome the Cavemen. It's time now here in the Roseburg Disposal postgame show to take a look at our stats, brought to you by Umpqua Dairy. For Grants Pass, of course, all unofficial stats here for you. But let's see here, 38 passing attempts for Chase Coyle tonight. And let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. He incomplete. So 15, 38. That's 23 for 38 tonight for Chase Coyle, unofficially. 5 touchdowns, 1 interception, 377 yards. Not too shabby of a night there for the junior QB. He'll lead the way for the Grants Pass offense. His touchdown passes, he had 1 to Blaine Hobbs, who finishes with 103 yards on the through the air. Randy Clark finished with 2 touchdowns tonight. He will, let's see here, go over 100 yards with 101 total. Corbin Lopez, 2 touchdown grabs, and he has 7 catches for 131 yards. J.J. Watts had 1 catch, 8 yards, and Jesse Valadez, 2 catches, 23 yards. On the ground, not a huge number for Grants Pass. Imtaj ended up coming out of the game in the second quarter after an injury. He had 6 carries for 37 yards, 1 touchdown. Then you had Blaine Hobbs, 2 carries, -9 yards. Chase Coyle finished with 8 carries, 11 yards. And it was Jake Henricks, had 12 carries, 66 yards tonight. And that is the offensive numbers for Grants Pass. On the other side for Roseburg, Colin Warmoth finishes with 29 passing attempts tonight. That'll be a career high for him. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 for 29. Not a bad percentage tonight for Colin Warmoth. Those are all season highs for him. He's actually eclipsed his season high in yardage twice this season, gone over 200 yards. Tonight he goes for 219, and that might just be a season high for him. So some new numbers there, career night for Colin Warmoth. He did throw for 2 touchdowns, both of those to Peyton Bryant before he came out of the game with an injury. Bryant finishes with 8 catches for 59 yards. D'Angelo Adams, 4 catches, 65 yards. Colbert, 4 catches, 55 yards. 3 catches for Eddie Herskovitz, 29 yards. 1 catch for Doran Gillespie, 11 yards on that one. On the ground, Roseburg scores 3 rushing touchdowns in this ball game. I do believe. Let me double check here. Warmoth had one in the fourth quarter I forgot to write down. Get that one in there for him. So, 3 rushing touchdowns tonight for Roseburg. Gillespie had 1 of them. He finishes with 25 yards on 13 carries. Colin Warmoth, 69 yards on 10 carries, 2 touchdowns. Gage Hill had 13 yards on 6 carries, and D'Angelo Adams getting into the run game tonight had a big night, 4 carries, 56 yards. And so that is your Umpqua Dairy stat update here tonight. We will have our Abby's Legendary Pizza Player of the Game coming up in our final segment. But Josh, looking at those numbers, final thoughts on tonight's loss for the Roseburg Indians, 44-39.
Really heartbreaking loss. I got a couple other numbers for you when it comes down to penalties. In the second half, Roseburg only had 2 penalties for 10 yards, and Grants Pass had 3 penalties for 35 yards. When it came to penalty yards, Grants Pass and Roseburg won the penalty battle against Grants Pass. They only had 5 penalties for 40 yards tonight, where Grants Pass had 8 penalties for 90 yards. So overall, Roseburg performed really, really well. Offensively, defensively, stuff like that. Roseburg couldn't get their running game opened, and they struggled with it last year again. They struggled with it again. There were a couple big breakout plays by Adams tonight, but Gillespie just could not figure out this defensive front and get the ball moving up the field down the middle there. Otherwise, no turnovers. Roseburg's defense and special teams pretty much had 2 takeaways with the interception and then the onside kick fumble type deal. So overall, I thought Roseburg played all 4 quarters of this game. They could have given this game up early. They fought back, only lost by 5. So really impressed with how they played, and it was quite a way to open up Southwest Conference play.
Definitely was, and I'm glad you mentioned a lot of that because they were some of the things I was thinking here as well. For another game, Roseburg is either even or on the positive side in the turnover battle. All good numbers there. They continue to stay on the positive side for the season. Peyton Bryant with an interception, Roseburg with a fumble recovery on the kickoff. So a lot of good things there. A lot of positive takeaway from this one. Hopefully Roseburg makes it through somewhat healthy, because Peyton Bryant goes down with an injury, needed help back to the locker room. We'll wait to see how things go for him. Does not look great from what we've seen from up here in the press box. We'll find out going forward. But it doesn't get any easier. Roseburg next week taking on South Medford. We'll have some scores from around the Southwest Conference as well as around the Umpqua Basin, and we'll name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game when we come back in our final segment of the Roseburg Disposal postgame show after this here on 1490 The Score.
This is Roseburg Football Online at 541radio.com. Thanks for tuning in to this week's game. Here's a look at what's coming up for the Roseburg Indians. Find the live sports broadcast schedule updated each week at 541radio.com.
It's easy to spot people who participated in high school sports and activities.
Right on time.
They learned important lessons like leadership, teamwork, respect.
Hey, our meeting moved to 10.
We'll be ready.
Values that last a lifetime.
We need to focus on 3 factors.
Support high school sports and activities in your community. When kids take part, they get set for life.
You are watching live broadcast coverage of Roseburg football on 541radio.com. This game is proudly sponsored by
Roseburg Disposal, Tim's Appliance, Cooper's Pest Control, Umpqua Dairy, Fisher's Hearth and Home, Cascade Community Credit Union, Douglas County Farmers Co-op, Supercut, Good Vibrations, and also Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair.
At Brook Communications, our job is to get results for your business, period. We can take your story and tell it to the people you want to reach in a way that compels first-time clients to become repeat customers. We get them through your door so you can do what you were meant to do. Proclaim your sales message to the largest audience of any media company in Douglas County. Brook Communications dominates through the power of 5 radio stations and 541radio.com. Results amplified. Locally owned. Brook Communications.
Back here to wrap up the Roseburg Disposal postgame show. Again, let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. Also want to thank our friends at Fisher's Hearth and Home and at Flyaway Travel and Pepsi and Bigfoot Beverages. Final segment here. We'll get some scores here in a moment, but it's time now to name our Abby's Legendary Pizza Legendary Player of the Game. There was plenty of offensive numbers, definitely some great defensive numbers out there, but, there was one guy that really performed very well, and without his performance tonight, the Roseburg Indians have no shot at this possible comeback tonight. They fall just short, 44-39, the final score, but a very great performance by a guy that's been a big leader in the offense all season. Tonight, we give the Abby's Legendary Pizza Player of the Game to
Peyton Bryant. He did a great job with the 2 touchdowns, the interception, and the 2-point conversion in the game to bring this to a 5-point ball game. And then he ended up getting injured. We're hoping and praying for all the best for him this week as we figure out what's going on with his knee. It looked like, I believe, his right knee.
I think it was his
left knee.
Yeah.
Left knee. It was wrapped up. He did have to have help off the field, so hopefully everything's all right and it's just bruised or something and he's able to come back out here next week because Roseburg really does need him. He's a big part of that receiving core. Between him and Adams, they're a huge part of this team. So best of luck to him as you figure out what's going on there.
He was the leading receiver in receptions as well as receiving yards. And tonight he also led in catches and receiving yards. So, big part of the offense. Definitely want to see him back out next week. So.
And we saw he did get a cut on his eye where he was bleeding pretty good.
Yeah, that's true.
And he came off the sideline really excited about it. And it kept the Roseburg bench up, showing that he was hurt, had a cut, and that he was still, ready to play football. So they really need him back out there on that field.
All right, let's go ahead and check out some scores of other games going on around the region here tonight. Josh, what kind of scores you got so far reported?
So I've got Glide beat Illinois Valley 60-0. Sutherland beat Lapine 21-13. Elkton lost tonight 28 to Lowell 38.
Wow.
South Umpqua lost tonight 7 against Brooking Harbors 28.
Okay.
North Douglas beat Oak Ridge tonight 66-20. Glendale lost to Riddle 60-6. So that's all the scores I got for the Umpqua Basin. It looks like in the Southwest Conference, South Medford beat McNary 35-7. And then Colorado, this is one of my picks for this week. I bet it's 38-16, so I did cover, so I'm starting out all right, 1-0 this weekend.
For those that don't know, Josh and I make picks against the spread every week on Off the Wall on Friday's show. Off the Wall, our local sports talk show here on 1490 The Score, Mondays and Fridays from noon to 1. No show this Monday because of hunting season, but usually Mondays we recap how both of us fared during the weekend, and shocker here. We're both not very good at this, but you're starting out on the right foot, so that's good for you. We will get to a pick on Monday Night Football coming up here in just a moment because we forgot to do that on the show. But a brief thing to note that for folks that coming up tomorrow, you've got Douglas football at St. Mary's in Medford at 11 a.m. That one postponed due to the smoke. You've also got Days Creek at Camas Valley, a game that was originally scheduled for Saturday. That'll play tomorrow at 1 o'clock out at Camas Valley. And in the Southwest Conference, Sheldon is at North Medford tomorrow, 1 o'clock kickoff, as long as the weather okay down there. If not, they'll kick off from Eugene at 7 o'clock, and that'll be another Southwest Conference game that got delayed due to the weather here today. So that's what's going forward. All right. Before we get to some picks for games that probably don't really matter, let's take a look going forward. Roseburg is at South Medford next week. South Medford a winner tonight. Going forward, what do you need to clean up from tonight's game in for next week against the Panthers, defending conference champions?
It's so hard to really say what Roseburg needs to clean up because they clean up one aspect of their side, which was taking care of that run defense here against Grants Pass. They did a fairly decent job at doing that tonight. But then they gave away that big pass play on the defensive side, so they kind of fix one side and go the opposite direction on the other side. Overall, they just need to play football the way they played football. Play it all 4 quarters the way they did tonight. maybe make a few adjustments here or there, but really overall just continue to play all the way out. Play every game, every second, every minute of every down, and they could walk away with the win in the Southwest Conference.
Well, we'll see what happens next week when Roseburg takes on South Medford. All right, since we forgot to get it in during Off the Wall today at noon, we will always like to try and make a pick of Monday Night Football. Of course, this weekend on Sunday, you can tune in for NFL football all day Sunday, and then Monday, tune in for Monday Night Football. It is the Kansas City Chiefs and the Denver Broncos in Denver. Who are you taking?
Well, of course, I'm taking Kansas City. Big Kansas City fan, Patrick Mahomes, but he has a lot of weapons when it comes down to Sammy Watkins and Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, and even Hunt in the backfield. So I don't think that Denver can cover all the weapons that Kansas City has on that offensive side. So I'm taking Kansas City to beat Denver.
I don't really feel confident about this pick, but wild things have been happening in the NFL, and I don't really want to pick the same team as you because that's absolutely no fun. So I'll take the Denver Broncos and Royce Freeman. See if the former Duck can come out and show a little bit of U of O pride coming up.
It is at Mile High, so you have a chance.
There you go. All right, that's our Monday night picks. Speaking of games coming up this weekend, we told you what high school games are tomorrow. Don't forget, we've got college football for you tomorrow. Late kickoffs for both Oregon State and Oregon. Tune in for the Beavers here on 1490 The Score. Pre-game coverage starts at 5, kickoff at 7 as Oregon State visits Arizona State, and you can hear that game here on The Score. Tomorrow night on News Radio 1240 KQEN. Tune in as the Oregon Ducks, ranked number 19 in the nation, take on number 24 Cal. That one from Berkeley, a late kick 7:30, pregame at 5:30 on News Radio 1240 KQEN. NFL all day on Sunday starting at 9:30, and Monday Night Football coming up Monday as well. Plenty of sports coming up for you. Sports fans, stay with us all weekend long. That'll wrap it up here for us. Want to say a big thanks to head coach for the Grants Pass Cavemen, John Musser, as well as the entire program for helping us get ready for tonight's broadcast. I want to say thanks to head coach Dave Heiberger, athletic director Russ Bolin, and the entire Roseburg football program for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg football here on 1490 The Score. I want to say thanks back in the studio to Cruz Ibanez for the radio production tonight. A big thanks to Angela Kieran for the on-site video production tonight. And thanks to my partner here in the booth, Josh Nelson, for helping out with the analysis throughout the season as well.
You're more than welcome, Joey. And just a reminder to everybody, it is opening day tomorrow for hunting, so everybody be safe this weekend.
That is, wear your Roseburg orange, or you could call it Hunter orange as well, but put that stuff on. Or you could wear some Douglas County Timberwolves neon green. I'm sure that stands out in the woods pretty well, too.
That's what I wear every year.
There you go. I want to say thanks to you, the fans, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran, folks. We will talk to you guys next week when the Roseburg Indians make the trip to Medford to take on the South Medford Panthers and continue Southwest Conference play. Kickoff coming up at 7 o'clock from Spiegelberg Stadium, and you can tune in for pregame coverage starting at 6:45 online at 541radio.com and right here on Douglas County's home for sports, CBS Sports Radio, 1490 The Score. All right, guys, thank you very much.